go. We're good.
Yes,
We got that. Alright. It's great to see all you folks again.
It's great to see you, Lucian.
Let's see what
I can't see you. I have to open up the stream.
happened last time. Okay, so the last session that this Thursday group we've assembled here managed to get up to was easily summarized. You could say that there were eventually three major portions. The first of which was dicking about town, which involved a lot of augury spell. The second of which was making an excursion out of town, and the last bit would be fighting a very large amount of orcs and killing probably about 70% of them, and then finding in a trash heap of theirs at the end of the tunnel a magical item of sorts. We rejoin you all there. Your group is currently huddled at the end of a somewhat narrow tunnel. Not enough to be uncomfortable to travel down, but only maybe 2 or 3 people could stand shoulder to shoulder in it. There is refuse throughout here, and you chased a group of orcs, which seemingly would have to go down here, and then escaped you. If there is a hidden passageway or some other mechanism by which they have escaped, the group has not found it yet. However, inside of a trash heap at the end of this tunnel, you have found what appears to be a ceramic or perhaps metallic sphere. It is perfectly spherical and completely smooth, and seems to be the color of a dull gray. What do you guys do?
We don't touch it, that's for sure.
I thought it was in Jay's
Too
hand.
late, you've already touched it.
Well, plan has already gone wrong.
if I remember correctly.
Jay, put that down.
Jay's like licking it. Well, we don't touch. Oh.
It has
A new bead, just the right size.
evocation magic. That's something I'm unfamiliar with, correct? When I had
Someone had done a detect magic, and yes, you could sense 2 things. One was evocation magic, and then some other type of magic, though schoolless.
Okay. Yeah, I almost called you Sparky. Like Braxton said, I'm gonna take out like my traveler's clothes or something and pick it up with that, being very careful to not actually touch the sphere.
Okay. So you reach down and grab this sphere and are holding it with a piece of cloth between your fingertips so as to not make direct contact with it. The orb seems to have a dull but persistent shine to it. As the light hits it, you can see that it is indeed quite smooth and polished, but it doesn't give off quite as much as maybe a well-polished mirror would.
I'll like turn around, and if I remember correctly, the other people were like discussing something or arguing or searching through.
We were searching, I think, for the most part.
I just fucking carved fuck orcs in Dwarvish
There was
on
some
the wall.
graffiti. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm licking the dirt.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
tasted
we're-
the
yeah.
ground. Nice.
You were eating dirt to try and make a
I
survival
think I was like
check.
20 feet down the hall with my bow out, kind of concerned about the orcs hiding in a
Mm-hmm.
rope trick or something.
Hey guys, look at this. I hold up the sphere. It's magic.
Oh.
Why are you holding it in your cloak?
I don't know what kind of magic it is.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't
I
have
just
identify by
orcs.
any chance, do you, Braxton?
What'd you ask?
You don't know the spell identify by any chance, do you?
I don't think that one's in my book, so no.
Okay.
Why the
But-
fuck is there a magical item sitting around
Wait,
in orcish trash?
Good
Illusion.
question. Yes.
If I take out Sparky's book,
He didn't know identify either.
okay.
Wasn't the
I
book
was
also
just gonna
buried
ask,
with him?
Would I be able to read
No.
any of the spells in it?
Possibly. You'd have to make checks to read his writing. A wizard going over another wizard's notes can be a difficult thing, but it is possible.
How good were you at commenting your code, Sparky?
Well, it's like a code that you make up on your own, so it's like you're learning a new language each time.
Sparky was pretty hyper, it's probably a little weird.
That's probably just says fuck Dragonboard, fuck Dragonboard, fuck Dragonboard, fuck me. Holy shit, what is this? The day you turned into a Dragonborn.
Horrible
Alright,
times.
Well, don't think we should touch this.
You know, maybe it's like my rope trick thing, and they went in there.
Do you know what kind of magic your rope trick is, by any chance, Braxton?
Of course, I know what kind of magic my rope trick is. Let me talk slowly so I can look it up. It's transmutation.
Well, I don't think
Wow,
it's...
you knew that off the top of your head.
I know, I'm so smart.
Oh, I'm so impressed.
I
That's
picture
why he's a
Braxton
wizard.
takes out his book and he's just flying through the pages. I know exactly what that is. Let me talk
Don't mind
slowly
me
for
as I
that.
fly through this.
On to page 57, article 2, subcategory.
I don't think it's the same kind of magic, then. This seems to have evocation on it, which is more...
Evocation, you say?
Isn't
Oh,
that like magic that does stuff?
I could smash it.
No.
What kind of magic
I could
If you
taste it.
smash it, they might all pop out. They might all pop out anyway.
I could smash it.
Alright, I
Don't
turn to the
smash it.
wall and I carve fuck magic and dwarvish below fuck orcs. Very
I'm gonna
important.
smash.
Magic is an abomination.
Right, I think
I hate magic so much.
maybe we should either go back to town or...
Well, that'd be pretty bad to have like 20 or like an army of orcs summoned in town, yeah?
Yeah, this could be bringing
Yeah.
them toward our people.
Mm, maybe we, you
But
know,
if we
jump
threw it,
in and
if
kill
we
them.
threw it in like a pit, that could work.
Alright,
Man,
then
like-
we'll be at the bottom of the pit and have to climb their way up. We'll be delaying the issue. I like this.
Hey, Jay, let me poke that ball. Let me poke that ball, Jay.
I'll throw them, but they can't climb it.
Are you gonna touch it?
Yeah, I want to poke
Hey,
it.
the
Turn
orcs
and
touching
pull it
balls
away.
I can. Somebody help.
Don't let them touch it, Jay.
I'm gonna poke
Don't
it.
let him touch your ball.
I'm doing everything in my power to, like, even if I have to just like full on wrap it in whatever I'm carrying.
Can I
with
make
it.
a check to know what evocation stuff does, or do I just know?
As a wizard, you would know that school just off the top of your head, because you're a trained nobleman who got
Indeed.
his power through the books. So you know that the Evocation School of Magic is one that is sometimes misunderstood. Everybody thinks they know evocation, but the reality is that it's not just shooting fireball spells or conjuring up ice, which is kind of how people see it. But it's the act of like manifesting energy into some form. So evocation can involve spells like that of the destruction kind, but also like summoning things and sometimes even creating objects.
And
Oh,
healing.
Well,
Basically, all of the schools in Skyrim.
Yeah.
well, you might think it's going to shoot a fireball out, but actually, the orcs could be what this is sending out, possibly.
Let me
Uh,
poke it.
As you get closer towards it, Jay takes the orb and covers it in cloth so that you might not be able to get to it. Goddamn.
Well,
Alright,
Jay, I don't
touch-
actually think it's a. I don't think it's a portal to anywhere, Jay. I think
What
it
what is the
summons
group thing?
things.
I'm all for letting Rook touch it, but I'm not doing it unless we have at least 2 other people who say it's cool.
I'm gonna touch it.
Let
I
him
don't
do
think
it.
it's
Timed out for the orc being the test subject.
I don't think it's going to do anything, but
I-
we should be ready in case.
Can I, like, as I'm holding it in the cloth, can I, like, pop it open like a trampoline so that it, like, flies through the air towards Rook and he has to catch it?
Sure.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, pull open
Absolutely.
the tarp.
Yep.
Alright, I do so.
Okay. So the cloth bounces there, sending the orb towards you, and it flies through the air, and you catch it, Rook?
Yeah,
Okay.
catch that. Like a football.
You catch the orb in your hand. It's the size of maybe an apple or a medium-sized orange, and it feels a little bit cold, what you would expect from it laying around in these caves. As you hold it, I would like you to go ahead and make a check for me. Please make a wisdom check. Not a saving throw, but a check.
How wise is our orc?
So
the wisest of orcs,
He's the
Rook Mother
wisest of
Wisdom
all
Higmo.
orcs.
Holy
like a
fuck.
13.
Like a 13.
Something around there.
Okay, you hold the orb here, and you feel something latent within it. The claims that your companion has made about it being magical, they seem founded in something, and just holding it against your flesh here, you can sense there's like an energy that is almost locked inside. There's something to it. Just from touching it, you know this is no mundane item. Though what it does, or exactly how to do anything with it, kind of escapes you.
I look at it real hard.
Okay.
I
As you
hate
stare at it
combat
real
saves.
hard, you see something. The point that you're looking at seems to change color, and it turns towards like a darker shade of gray that eventually becomes an inky black, which looks like it's seeping across the sides of the orb.
Rook, you should try to break it.
Do any of
Don't
us
make
see this change, or is it just Rook?
Given that you guys are in the middle of a cave and probably have like a light spell or two that's giving you guys vision, and Rook's holding it there and it's like localized, no. If he keeps looking at it, you might notice the effect.
I'm
think
it's the
moving
thing
moving
that's-
to join the party at this point.
I'm like eyebrows are so furrowed, and I'm like
You
staring
alright, Will?
so hard at it.
Okay.
I think it's what's been summoning the orcs. You should try to break it.
Can I make any kind of check to see if I like to see if Rook is okay? Like
Sure,
is he
yeah.
not
Make an
fine?
insight check.
Rook, you have 3 seconds to look up from that thing before I smack you.
No. He's thinking. Let him think.
2,
Oh god, that's a
3. Okay, I smack him.
You can't rush him, dude. He's slow, okay? You're like punishing the
Can I-
retarded child.
Can I attempt to catch Yura's attack?
Okay, so sorry.
Even if
One
it
thing
means,
at a
like, I
time,
literally-
folks. Let's
Okay,
chill
one thing
here.
at a time.
Jay, what did you roll on that insight check?
23.
A 23. Okay. You think that he's fine. He's absolutely fine, but he's definitely intrigued by the object, which is interesting because it just looks like it did, in your cloth hand there, right? Like it doesn't look any different. And, he's really interested in it for some reason. But he seems fine.
I'm gonna walk over and just like put my arm around him, try
Okay.
and let people know that he seems like he's okay for the time being.
Okay.
But I am gonna keep watching him and make sure, if I see any sign of like pain or anything else on him, I'm like studying him.
You see pain on my face, and that I'm concentrating so hard.
He's concentrating
brain-
so hard, his eyebrows are so furrowed, they're starting to ooze out blood.
There's like a little bit of sweat going down his forehead. Okay, so you
And
come
you're
over and give him like the bro arm, and then after that, Irisfield mentions that she'll smack you.
Do I feel like I'll break concentration if I talk?
I don't know. That's up to you. That's a
Can
that's a
you
rook
walk
thing.
and shoot
That's
gun
not a
at the
DM
same
thing.
time?
Don't smack me.
Alright.
He's
Concentrate.
okay, Mira, I think. I'll keep an eye on him.
I will cast guidance on him, though.
Okay.
Alright.
Cast guidance on him, and you continue to stare at this ball. And the dark spot on it continues to grow until roughly about a third of the surface area that you're looking at right now is covered with this inky black material that kind of moves along it, and it continues to seep out around it. And it's interesting because sometimes it kind of changes shapes, and you feel like when you really concentrate, like when you really furrow your brow and just stare into this ball, that the shape changes in response. You see what looks like an inky liquid traveling through another liquid, then changes to look a little bit like a crystal growing. It's like moving out in straight lines as it begins to consume the thing.
This is where we hid Gronk Smart.
I'm gonna sit down and then concentrate at it because
Okay.
my legs take too much concentration.
Is there any check to know what this is? Like, what if I made a history check or something?
Oh, do you have proficiency in history?
Yes.
I will definitely allow that. Please go
Cool.
ahead. Although it's going to be a high check, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Oh,
Can I?
+6,
nice. Okay.
18.
You know. Sorry. And what was that, Irisville?
Can I like peer over his shoulder and kind of see what he's looking at here?
Sure.
Are you
Yeah.
tall enough?
As you go and look over his shoulder, the orb looks exactly the same. Like it's just exactly as it was when Jay held it in his hand.
Okay.
He's just really looking at it, like really giving it the look-see. He even sits down to give it that look-see. Meanwhile, over on a different side of the cave, there, watching the whole spectacle, you think to yourself, Braxton, and search your mind for what this might be, and you remember something from your studies. There are, like, oh goodness, Braxton, you've had interactions with the puzzle box with these guys, have you not?
No, Braxton.
I don't think I have.
No, that was
I
all
don't think-
before you, right?
I think so, yeah. I
Okay.
haven't seen it.
You know that there are strange magical items in this world, many of which created by the high elves and their dark magic, and some of which crafted by the dwarves, others handed down by the gods. But you know that there are some magical items out there which are kind of held to a class of their own. They're uncommon, and reports of them vary greatly. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason connecting them to what it is that they do. And you think that the sphere that you're looking at is one of these items, because these items that are kind of in the class of their own always take the shape of what appears to be, at least according to the literature, a mundane but perfect sphere. You think this might be it. This might be one of these.
So I think it's similar to something I know as a puzzle box.
You think it's like an item of power that is both rare, strange, and not very well understood, and the reports that have to do with it are all over the map. So it's like no one sphere seems to be the same, at least from the wizards that have written about them.
Okay. Well, I would say all that again, but it's pretty long, so I just say
Yeah, no
I
worries.
say that stuff to them.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. Not sure. They all do different stuff.
So while you're detailing this to the group, Rook, the spread is getting more intense, and now every little bit that you're staring at of the orb is more or less changed to this black. And then you think that it's starting to recede and it's going away. Are you going to continue pushing forward?
Yeah, and I'm thinking about swords.
Okay. I'm going to roll one of the dice real quick here.
Like a big
How
sword.
long is he doing this?
Like a big sword.
This happens kind of as Braxton is finishing his explanation, which would probably take anywhere from 30 seconds or whatever.
And like the
Okay.
grounds are kind of like
Yeah, it's just the sound of this wizard going over all of this really nerdy bullshit while an orc sits on the ground staring at a football, just like
Sword! I want a sword!
Okay.
Are there any rocks nearby? Like decent size, like maybe like 2 fists sized rocks nearby?
There are plenty, but this happens first. Suddenly, an image appears from beyond the darkness, and the darkness sort of parts as though it's creating like a portal or a window that you're looking through, and you see what looks like the eye of a very old and storied man staring at you. It's like you're seeing through a pinhole, and you're seeing an elderly man's face just like an inch around his eye. It looks very keen, and you immediately get the sense that this eye has seen more than you could possibly gather in a lifetime. And it looks at you and just stares at you.
I stare at him.
Okay. At that
Confrontation.
point, the ball seemingly disappears from the hand of Rook. All of you guys see this, just whoop, it's gone.
What?
And then in front of him,
He who
you see
stares
something.
into the abyss might stare
My
back.
sword!
In front of him, you see something. You see there's a magical effect starting to take place in the ground. As Rook is seated here, this whole thing is maybe just a foot in front of him, and you see what looks like not necessarily sparks, but like magical light, like you would see from maybe the light spell or like illusory script or something like that, that appears on the ground, and it starts off as 4 points on the ground, either like maybe like a star or a square, and
Can
then
I?
begins to
Since I'm standing
change.
Oh, go for it.
What's up, Jay?
I was just gonna say, when I see this, can I like help Rook to his feet and start pulling him away?
Sure.
Since
Yeah.
I was like standing right next to him.
Do you go
Just
with
like-
Jay there, Rook?
Just back you up a few steps, Rook. Come here.
Yeah, but I still want to be the closest to it.
Yeah, that's fine. Just back up a couple of steps in case you know.
How are the rest of you guys acting here? I'm gonna draw in this scene a little bit here.
All right.
I want to ready my axe.
Seems I'm
And,
unsure
like,
what's happening. Probably be way far back.
Very
Braxton-
questioningly, just like not sure what the fuck's going on, not liking it.
So this is kind of where like the effect is going off right here.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you guys
I'm
can position yourselves however you want.
You know, like a giddy child on Christmas? Like how they're like kind of bouncing both hands clenched?
You're like, dude, I just fucking did magic.
Hey Yuri, why don't you come over here? On this
Under-
side.
under my
I know that requires me to move too close to that thing. I'll be over here.
Just what if it makes like a wall or something and you get stuck in there?
I'll mine my way out. I think I'm fine.
Uchi, I know you were whispering, but I heard like the Monkey King. Okay, so here's what happens. The 4
Yeah.
points here begin to change, and you watch as they trace lines towards one another until it's like a star that has been shaped. Not a diamond, but a star. They kind of meet towards the center, and then a circle starts to warp around it, forming like a circle that's traveling around the star, and then another circle appears around that, and then litany begins to like run around through the edges of the circle, and the whole thing becomes more and more complex and more bright and intense. Not to the point where it's difficult on the eyes, but it becomes increasingly difficult to tell exactly what this is.
2
You
steps
said,
back.
you said this was like a puzzle box, right?
Does he know anything about puzzle boxes to say that?
You can roll
He
a
said
skill
it.
check to see whether or not you know anything about puzzle boxes, and we can retcon that you mentioned it might be like it if you do know.
Oh, I thought that was in the explanation.
Probably not.
It was in
11.
Illusions,
An
but
11.
Braxton doesn't know anything
Okay.
necessarily.
You know very little about puzzle boxes, but you are aware of them. Similar to these kind of items, they are magical items that are weird in that nobody knows exactly what they do or where they come from. So you would have mentioned that, sure. So Earsville, you're all good there.
They're both the same
However-
in how abnormal they are.
You know that puzzle
Uh-huh.
boxes do have one key thing about them, which is they always lead to like some other plane or some world. This thing on the ground begins to grow more and more complex, and I would like anyone who has proficiency in religion to please roll a check.
Hey, that's
AKA the one person.
The one priest. Good job, you fuck.
You were so close.
This
You
is why
actually
Bella
don't
doesn't talk to you
recognize it.
anymore.
As you look down at this, you think that you see a religious symbol that's forming in front of you, but you're actually not sure what it is, and it's completely unrecognizable. It might actually just be like wizard arcana. It might have just been that you had a hunch that was wrong. And then suddenly, the whole thing explodes, and a lightning bolt strikes up from it and hits the ceiling in this cave. And as the lightning bolt does and a violent flash of light comes out, your eyes adjust, and you see standing in front of you, Rook, what looks like a 10-foot tall, leaning over ever so slightly because of the ceiling, humanoid man that looks like he has the old eye that you had seen here. Like he's an incredibly elderly man, but he is
We just summoned a
completely
god.
rippling in muscle, and he has in one hand what looks like a incredibly large hammer that like lightning courses around, and he wears a essentially a loincloth, which is also decorated with what looks like scalps, like people's hair,
Did I
It's
roll
like
another
collected
religion
there.
check on this man, or is my nat one kind of like I don't get to know anything about this?
I don't think that you would know what this is yet, though you
Okay.
might have checks coming up.
Okay.
And
I just didn't know if this was like a religious figure that would like stand out in my mind.
the incredibly like crazed-looking, elderly, muscle-bound, like just titan of a man stands there, and he looks down at you, Rook, and he says with a thundering voice that causes pebbles on the ground to literally shake and move place, "Why have you called?"
Well, I was looking for orcs, and then I wanted a sword, but you are neither.
For what purpose would you ask a sword from me?
Well, you were in a magical orb, and I thought I'd get a cool sword.
Simpleton!
Rude.
Hmm.
That is a cool hammer, though. I do appreciate your hammer.
As Rook is talking, it appears that the man has stopped paying attention to him, and he surveys the rest of you, looking at first the ones behind Rook, and then turning around and staring at you for a moment, Yuri, and then he looks back to you to see what you have to say.
He looks at me.
Yep, yeah, he looks at all of your companions, including the one behind him, and then looks back at you. He looks like he's waiting.
You, seen any orcs lately?
Give him a task.
What's your name?
Oh no.
He continues to stare at you, and you can feel like it's like your hair is standing on end, like an electricity almost like runs over your skin, and your body is reacting to it. And everybody here in the cave can feel this. There's like radiating power coming off of this man.
Does it look like Rook's not doing a good job of talking to him?
Pretty good
That's
loincloth.
up to you. His expression
I put my
hasn't
axe
changed.
away.
He just stares at Rook. His eyes are narrowed, like he's perhaps examining him or something. If you want to try and gauge what this man might be thinking, you're more than welcome to roll an insight check.
Yes, please.
Sounds great.
That loincloth.
22.
Oh, that's not great.
17.
Did you get it from someone?
11.
Did-
Oh, someone.
9.
A 22 and a 17?
Mhm.
About the 17?
Jay.
Jay, okay. Jay, you think that this man is disgruntled. And despite the fact that he has a very sort of like stoic nature about him and is very reserved in his movements here, you think that he's bothered. And who got the 22?
Yo.
You think these things as well, Braxton. However, you think that he's waiting for Rook to say something in particular.
I'll nudge him and be like, anything in particular? I just get he's waiting to say something.
Yeah, it's like you get the sense that it's one of those situations where you have two people meeting and there's like a certain greeting they're supposed to use for each other, and it's like he's waiting for that almost.
I'll be like, Rook, shake his hand and tell him your name. I'll like elbow him in the side, like.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. I extend my hand. Hail and well met.
My dude.
Make
My
a
dude.
persuasion check for me, please.
Want
Put
that
away my axe and
advantage?
take 3 steps back.
You have guidance, don't forget.
With a D4, yeah.
You might need it.
Will it help?
You need it.
A
You need a
sick
4.
9.
Oh,
Hey, he got the 4.
that's a 14.
14. Strong 14. It's practically a 50. It's like an old model
Not-
50.
Oh, no.
May as well round it up to a 20.
Boy.
My name is Rook the Gronk. Good to meet you.
This is where fucking Braxton gets turned into a gnome and then into a dragonborn.
What? What did I do this time?
Look, man. You're the punching bag when it comes to gods.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Does Rook's like actions like? Does my insight check tell me anything about what the giant is thinking as Rook starts doing this stuff? Or would I need a new insight check?
On what he's thinking about this?
Yeah, like how is he reacting to Rook's like?
He
tail
pauses
and-
for a minute and then extends his hand, like he's about to take the handshake. And you're not actually sure what's about to come next, despite your check.
Okay.
Rook, as he comes closer here, he grabs onto your forearm. And as he does so, he says, "You shall now be judged!" And it's punctuated by a loud lightning bolt, and you black out.
Awesome.
Everybody else, you see that Rook is like standing there, and he hasn't crumpled to the ground or anything, but as the two lock forearms here, you see Rook's like mouth goes agape, and he stares up towards the ceiling, and what looks like explosions of lightning are flying out of his eye sockets, his mouth, and his nose.
Sorry, Rick.
I place. Oh fuck! I don't have any.
Can
Okay.
Can I find a
Titan.
tombstone-shaped stone and start to get like rest in peace and work on that? Make a headstone.
you just take out a little piece of wood and carve like Rook, rip, he was good, but shaked wrong hand. Okay.
I'm gonna
On this
cast
day,
guidance
Gronk
on
did
him.
not get his smarts.
I don't know if it helps, but
Yeah.
As you reach your hand over, lightning leaps seemingly just out of the clothing that's on Rook's back here and strikes your hand, and you take
oh god.
6 points of
78 damage.
damage, leaving like a charred mark on your hand, and you're unable to get the spell off because this happens like immediately.
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and cast Bless.
Is Rick breathing?
Oh, okay. Is that a touch spell?
It is not a touch spell. It's just 3 creatures of my choice at 30 feet. So I'll choose Rook, myself, and
Make
Yuri.
Probably here.
Make a wisdom check. Because that's your spellcasting modifier. Okay.
Oh,
21.
As you cast the spell, the magic lands onto all of you, and those that Jay has outlined, you now have the effect of this. However, you see Rook here in front of you as the magic falls on him, and you're waiting for the religious incantation to set in. It doesn't, and instead you see bolts of lightning burst out from different parts of him, striking portions of the wall around you guys, and I need all 3 of you, who are right there, to please make for me a dexterity saving throw.
I knew I should have stayed back. What was I doing?
Yuri, you're all good.
Yuri.
uh-huh. Yeah, look, man.
Oh, yes. Oh. Yes. 21.
Okay.
14.
Oh, nice. Okay.
23 for me.
All of you are able to step back in time, and bolts of lightning narrowly miss you, striking the wall. One even hits the ceiling, and a bunch of stone crumbles from it and clatters on the ground.
I'm gonna what are you doing casting, he's judging Rook right now. Don't get in the way. Just let it happen.
Just let it happen.
Is
You
there
really think you can fight this guy?
anything-
Thunder sword! Thunder sword!
What was
He
that,
clearly
Yuri?
doesn't want us to bother Rook.
Is there anything familiar about this god or this guy
Oh,
to me?
no, you're from another world, and this guy, no. He does make you think of like a storm giant, though, which is something that you have back in Faerun.
Okay.
So,
Alright,
are you guys repositioning? If you are, do so on the map here, because I'll, it'll
I
be
want to
relevant.
stay. I want to stay as close to Rook as I can without getting shocked.
Okay.
So
So
be
you
about
can
me.
stand like directly next to him. It seems like there's a great energy around him, and you can feel it just like radiating off of both him and this creature. And as long as you don't interfere, it seems no lightning seems to reach out. As long as you don't like step forward, the energy doesn't become more intense or anything.
Yep, I'm staying right next to him then.
Okay.
Thunder sword! Thunder sword!
I'd like to cast guidance on myself and study this call creature man thing, and if it looks like he's going to hurt Rook or
There's
possibly
lightning
kill
coming out of
him,
his face, so I don't know.
yeah. But I mean,
He's
it
kinda
doesn't seem to be like
Like if he starts to
Die.
bleed.
If he starts to swing his hammer,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this guy like naked? You said he's in a loincloth.
He's in a loincloth.
Made
Yeah.
of
made of
scalps.
If I were to like make
Well,
a
it's,
sketch
no, it's got
of
scalps
him,
like attached to it. It's got like just
If-
trophy after trophy of hair.
if I made a sketch of him and then someone saw the sketch, would they like think Braxton's like, you know,
Perverted.
yeah?
You would, it would
Man,
depend
I
on
love-
why you told them you had that picture, but just at first glance, you'd be like, that's a messed up picture.
I love trophy husbands.
So,
Is the noise I'm making while thunder's coming out of my face, is it like a or is it kind of like a guttural?
no, you're not screaming or anything. It's just the sound of lightning going off.
Okay, that's pretty raw.
Meanwhile, we're gonna cut to what's happening to Rook. Rook,
Yes,
you
please.
black out immediately, and then when you come back, it's like you're standing on either it's like water or perhaps nothingness, but it's got a reflective property to it. And above you, seemingly only like 10, 20 feet away, are large storm clouds which move around and lightning courses through them. And this man stands in front of you and he stares down at you. It's clear that you're not in the material plane anymore.
So he's on the thundercloud staring down at me?
No, he's standing on whatever this like mirror reflective surface is that
Okay.
you're on.
So what's the challenge? I could do anything.
Except math.
And I do like the like the gladiatorial, like bring it on, like both my arms are extended.
Okay. He says, first you must prove yourself worthy, and then your character shall be judged. Do you accept this challenge?
Sounds easy enough. I've had 3 gods like me already.
And what gods would these be?
Oh, I forget their name. One.
Obatir.
Nope, I don't know that
Uh,
name.
The
One
cat
had
part?
Raven.
The Red Queen.
One was like a cat guy. One was about elements. Yeah. The Sphinx. The Sphinx was like the representative person.
He shouts out, and as he does, lightning goes off above him. He says, silence, fool! If you're to have any use, it is in destruction rather than words. I tire of your talk. And then he
I'm
points
defied.
off in the distance, and as he does, you see a form suddenly takes shape. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Give me 2
I
seconds.
need to see what this roll is.
Did you roll for like what monster? Oh god.
It's probably just Rook with twice the stats.
Can I know the number that you rolled? Can I know it?
I think it was either 17 or 18.
It was an 18.
It was an 18.
I don't know if that's good or not.
He's
While
gonna
it's
fight
forming,
this
can I flex at it?
Away from you, exactly 30 feet. We're gonna have to put this into the thing here.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Let us borrow Rook. Let's duplicate him for a second. There we go.
Hey, there's 2.
There's 2 Rooks.
It's
And then-
inner Rook.
What
Rook inside
model
of Rook.
should we use? It's not the appropriate model, but placeholders are placeholders.
Fucking Rook.
So right about there.
Flex it! Oh, okay. you got a little meteor.
We all did it. Oh.
This boy's
It's
had a
sizes
cereal.
and everything. It's not the
Boy got
size
fiber
of
in
the
his
sword, Rook. It's how you use it.
You see across from you what looks like some sort of angelic being. It looks like a white light at first, and then something spreads out, and you see 2 magnificent white wings of long-plumed feathers that fly out in either direction. And they're in a completely plated set of armor, which is completely gold. You see what looks like an incredibly beautiful woman, and she has in her hand a spear. She is a couple of feet taller than you, and basically floats above the surface that you're standing on, and then suddenly lunges towards you with her golden spear in hand. And I need you to roll initiative.
Badass.
1-on-1.
Better
Rook,
unmute music.
Rook.
Let's see here.
Ugh.
Well, okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Illusion, if you could just roll a whole bunch of ones for me, that'd be great.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
I think
sure
that's
what
pretty
Rook's
close.
thinking. Okay, you're first to go here, Rook. What do you want to do?
Oh well, you know your boy, charging straight in. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a smash.
Okay.
You know me.
As you close distance, her angelic voice rings out and she says, "You are no creature of conscience. I shall put you down like the demon you are."
You talk too much, smash.
And we say he's not a full breed.
Oh no!
That's a miss.
Okay, your swing yields nothing. You have a greatsword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just bounces off of the golden plate of armor here. Is that your turn?
Just need to swing a little harder. Yep.
Okay. The creature makes 2 attacks on you.
Oh god.
The first one's a 10. Does that hit?
No.
Okay, and the next one's a 20.
Okay.
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 Oh my god, I just saw what you rolled for the first one. Jesus Christ!
You take 5 points of damage as the spear stabs forward and gets in between your armor. The whole figure kind of shuffles around, and you note that it moves away from you so gracefully that you're unable to strike it with an attack of opportunity. And it's your turn.
She's holding a spear in hand, yeah?
Yes.
I saw how much feet she moved back, yeah?
Yeah, like just under 30, like 25. It was a single beat of her incredibly large wings that moved her all the way over.
What action does it take to blow the horn?
I'll let you do that as an interaction.
Blow the horn as I'm running, doing
Okay.
another swing. This is all regular, by the way.
Okay.
Please be champion
Oh, nice.
doing. Oh my god.
Oh no. Okay. You run forward, and as you do, you swing out. And unfortunately, as you're swinging out, you nearly let go of your sword here. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
That's a 12.
Okay. You barely manage to hold on. However, you do pull some sort of a muscle in your wrist here, and you take 4 points of damage.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. She goes to make another couple of attacks on you. Does an 18 or a 22 hit?
They both do.
Okay. You take 17 points of damage,
Gotcha.
and it is your turn.
Oh god, this is gonna end much quicker than planned. Second win.
Okay.
Hey.
Alright. You got some luck with you. Your strikes are a little weak, but...
Rude.
He's not wrong, though.
Look, man, he's just counting down. He got a 2, now he got a 1, and now it's gonna cycle back and be a 20.
Rolling another hit.
Okay.
Come
Maybe not.
Are you serious? Get rid of
That's a
that die.
12.
12. Okay, you swing out again, and she just kind of hovers ever so lightly away. You see that the blade is like an inch away from striking her, but she moves with the utmost confidence, like she knows it's gonna miss if she just moves to the side ever so gently. Is that your turn?
Turn? Yeah.
Okay. She hovers away again. this time moving to the side. You're unable to touch her, and she holds up her spear, and you see it suddenly courses with a light, and she throws it out at you.
This
You
is
hear
some
what sounds
Dark Souls shit.
like a church bell that chimes off in the distance as it does. Oh fuck. Does a 28 or sorry, 25 hit you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, this is some Dark Souls boss right here. Like, what the fuck?
You take 14 points of damage. It's your turn.
Okay. Great weapon strike.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
Oh boy.
Going for it.
Did you at least switch to die?
Oh.
Oh boy.
Nah, we're okay. That's it.
The clouds explode and you hear, "You disappoint me!" And then the angelic creature moves over here behind you and throws another spear, which reforms into her hand. The church bell chimes once again, and... Oh, a 10. It misses, instead hitting the mirror surface behind you, and it explodes in a blast of radiant light. It's your turn.
Top 10 anime comebacks.
We got one thing to do.
Fall over.
Great weapon strike.
Okay.
Oh, no! It's the dragon
Yes.
fight all over again.
Okay.
Oh no!
Make a
No,
dexterity
the
saving
dragon
throw
fight was
for me.
different. This is worse. This is so much worse. Oh.
That's an 11, Rook.
Dexterity saving check? No, that's a
Oh, Dex?
Yeah.
Sorry.
that's a 7.
You slip and fall prone in front of this creature. The spear forms in her hand and she strikes down on you. Oh, you might make it. Does a 16 hit?
Nope.
Oh, no
Oh.
shit. Okay. The spear strikes right by you. With a loud metallic clang, it stabs the mirror surface near you, sending out ripples of energy. It's your turn.
I just need one hit. Let me get it. Great weapon strike.
I'll send you to the underworld where you belong, she says.
Oh my god.
Holy fuck. I take it you're getting up first?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd imagine.
Oh. Lee. This is the worst string of rolls I have ever seen.
It's really bad. Is that your turn?
This is
One hit. Yes.
Okay, she moves over here and throws another one. This might be it. Does a 20 hit?
Yeah.
orcs can't die.
You take 8 damage.
We're good. We're fine.
You're fine? Okay, it's your turn.
Great weapon strike.
Man, I just want to see over a 10.
I do
Right.
too, buddy. I do too.
Oh my god.
My fucking god. Are you kidding
Change
me?
out the die! Swap to a different
Delete
die!
it. Delete the dice.
Get rid of it, man!
Alright. That's...
The illusion facepalm. Oh, God. We can't be Monday. Stop it.
You're mundane.
You're
Stop
Monday.
Mondaying.
Wait, it's not even like...
You get up and go to swing again, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I rolled the die and I got a 17. I don't know, man.
Didn't eat your Wheaties this morning.
Okay.
That's a 22.
Your body is getting
What's up
worn and
against?
damaged, and you almost succumb to all your injury here, but you're able to stave it off and continue fighting. It's your... Oh yeah, you just finished your turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. The creature moves once again and throws another spear at you. $20.
Hits.
Okay. You take 11 points of damage.
Relentless activates.
Okay.
Last straw. The last chance.
You've
With
already
all my
action
anger.
surged, right?
I
Yeah,
have
the
not.
beginning, right? Yeah.
Not. With all my anger, one more great weapon strike.
Let it be a
You have
crit.
action surge.
No.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Action surge?
Action surge, great weapon strike.
Come on.
This,
Go,
no,
go.
no, this isn't a roll. This isn't a roll. I'm putting the dice down.
Okay.
Put the
Oh no!
The dice tower.
It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be.
Okay.
Oh man.
You make 2 strikes in quick succession, and they both miss. And at this point, let's see.
Jesus.
She swings 2 strikes at you.
I'd
Oh
be
my
having
god.
pity at this point.
The first one is a 1, which is a critical fail, and I'll allow you to make an attack while she fumbles forward.
If I knew how this fight was going, I'd be running.
How do I? What rituals do I have to invoke to help him here?
Please give me
Make
our
believe
Lord and
guidance.
Savior.
Not only is he gonna smite Rook, he's smiting all
Great
of us.
weapon.
for traveling.
Oh, that was another roll. That wasn't a roll.
No.
Great weapon.
Great weapon strike.
Okay.
Take
we
your
go.
bad roll for you.
Oh my god. Get
Just get completely shafted.
Blow on it.
Afterwards,
Blow on it.
the second hit does a 20 hit.
Yeah.
And that's 15 points of damage. Or
And
sorry,
I'm down.
that would have been... My bad, that would have been 9. He's still down?
Yeah.
Okay. The creature strikes you, and as her spear stabs through your body, you feel like you're completely defeated. All of your muscles go limp, but you don't lose consciousness, and you seem to, like, lean back and then fall through the mirror floor here. She begins to disappear as you do, and as you're falling there, you hear the sound of lightning once again, and the voice calls out, and he says, "Unworthy." And the whole thing begins to fall apart, the clouds and everything. You guys all see this creature lets go of Rook's forearm, and then after letting go, simply crosses his arms, holding the large hammer in front, and then with a bolt of lightning, disappears. And the effect that's coming from Rook's face stops, and he collapses down to the ground.
Can I catch him?
Sure.
Yeah, run over and check on him.
Is he
Here.
unconscious?
Ah.
Yep.
Is he dead?
Rook seems like he's still alive, but he seems exhausted, and you can see he's breathing, but it's like very ragged, like some sort of horrible dream or some great ordeal is something that he's just been through. And you begin to open your eyes once again, Rook. You're with your companions in the cave again.
What happened, Rook?
What was that?
You're still worthy for us, buddy.
Look, man, none of us know anything that happened in there. His shame will never be known. It will be forgotten forever.
Rook, I can't do this because I'm in the dorm. Rook gets up, his sword just fumbles out of his hands, and just screams. Just guttural scream. Just a defeated scream.
Okay, it's bad. Rook is upset.
I look around, is there any sign of the orb or the man anymore?
It seems to be gone. Even the marks on the ground have disappeared.
I just like hold Rook there while he's screaming, I guess. Unless he shakes out of my arms to scream.
Okay.
In which case I let him go. I'm not gonna like restrain him.
Still screaming. It's been like a solid 20 seconds.
I'm going for a Guinness.
just
Constitution check,
watch
just to here.
for it.
Let's use this die. Con check to see how loud this or how
Go for
far
it.
this go.
Here's your 20.
No, it's in that one.
You're exhausted and your scream ends early, though the feeling is still there.
I think it's college, man. He's getting the fucking college is draining him already.
Rook, what happened?
We don't talk about it, we continue.
And I want
Alright.
to walk over. I want to put my hand on his shoulder, and then I want to walk this way.
Okay.
Just a sulking, defeated walk this way, picking up the sword on the way.
I'll kind of like look at Jay, like worriedly, and then follow.
Can I make some detailed notes on that thunder guy?
Sure, yeah, you detail him in your book.
Okay.
Make an int check for me.
In case someone asks. Wow, okay.
The curse is real.
One's all around.
You put down some very cursory notes, since you all have to get going, and the whole thing was pretty crazy.
At
Guess
some point while we're
We'll
walking
just
out,
have to remember.
while we're walking out, at some point, I would like to, if he's willing, like pull Rook aside,
Sure.
like from everybody else. Preferably to the back of the group, but it doesn't necessarily have to be so.
Okay.
It's just dead. Rook's eyes are dead.
You okay, Rook? I'm not
Honestly,
talking
no.
about- Are you hurt? Is there anything? Can I heal you in any way? And my hands start to glow with radiant magic.
Nothing physical. It's only my pride. It's nothing. Literally nothing.
If you need to talk about anything,
What's the point? I was supposed to be a great champion, right? Right? Deemed worthy by 3 gods.
Maybe we have a walk. You think it through it. Think it through. We can talk.
No,
when
this
you're
is
ready.
this is when I pulled him aside from
It's
everybody.
the
Yeah.
one-on-one bro talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say anything to Rook, but I just like reach up and like point to the dragon scales, and say, whatever happened in there might have been or seemed like a failure now. Doesn't mean you're not a hero. And then I'll just turn and begin catching up with the rest of the group.
Yeah, Rook cries. Yeah, Rook cries.
Is it audible for everyone to hear?
He tries not to. We can do a con check, but I'm sure it'll be a 1.
You're in a cave. Everybody hears Rook cry.
Hey, it's
If
an
anybody looks like they are gonna go back to talk to Rook or to try and console him, I will make sure that he gets his alone time while he is crying. And I will
Go away.
I will shoot everybody the look of like nobody says anything about this. Nobody brings up him crying, or you'll deal with me.
Okay.
I
I
must say,
give
look back,
Jay
but
a glare back and completely disapprove.
I'm probably talking with Ira up ahead, like, what does that guy have to do with orcs?
who? Which
The,
guy?
the thunder guy.
I don't.
The orcs ran down there. What happened to them? That's the big problem still.
I don't know.
Should we have left that passage? Why don't we go check their camp? Maybe they left something behind there. We didn't really check that over.
I looked through, but I mean, there was nothing valuable. I don't know about any.
Are you gonna
Sure.
give the camp a run over again, Braxton?
And wasn't there another path that we didn't go down?
No, you checked the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
You can make an investigation check if you want.
No,
Yeah.
look. We kind of seemed like we kind of rushed through it, at least in my mind.
I'll cast guidance and help him.
Yeah, I'd like to look through the camp too. Anything to like draw attention away from what just
Guidance?
happened.
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead and
and-
roll a d4.
Am I allowed to use the help action, or is this like a
13.
solo deal?
13. I generally don't use help.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. 13. As you go and look around, you go through the camp and find everything is more or less the same. You kind of check over here and some trash, and then over here, and then you notice something odd. The orb is behind what looks like a bunch of crates which have been left broken in the corner. But you looked behind there. You swear that you looked behind there last time when you guys made a quick sweep through here chasing after the orcs.
The same. This is the same orb.
It looks identical.
I guess I wouldn't know. Well, I'll be all like, "Hey, we missed something," or it's following us, and I'll walk over to it.
Okay.
Don't.
I'll just stand over it, like looking at it.
Do I find anything else with the 19 investigation?
Ah. Looking around, no, you don't find anything. It's exactly as
Okay.
you remember, but eventually you
Alright.
do step over to Braxton here and see that, yeah, he's staring at the orb.
I'll grab it with a cloth, but if Rook was unworthy, I don't want to touch it, so I'm not going to look at it. I'll just put it away and tell everyone we have it.
Okay.
Mm.
Isn't there that smart lady back at town? We should have probably just went to her first.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, the reason why we didn't go to her is because we were afraid that there were a whole bunch of orcs in it.
Well,
And
I guess now we know that that's not what it does.
True. I'm. I'm curious now. Kind of like look back at Rook.
Rook, I would like you to make a perception check with disadvantage because you're crying.
Like a 11.
Okay. You notice something. The group is gathering in the corner, and Braxton leans over and picks up seemingly the exact same orb and then stuffs it in his backpack.
Have a second.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes the feels are just too real. I think Braxton should have used it.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe after we get our spells back.
Yes.
Rook doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Rook goes to the exit and then waits there.
Alright.
And I wasn't hiding it at all. I was more just like, huh, that's weird, but sure.
Okay. So you get that, and people, take note of this, but Rook takes note of it and then just keeps walking like he's upset enough that he's going to keep just wandering out of the cave.
Not surprising.
Keep pace with Rook. A few feet behind. But I'll
Okay.
stay with Rook.
Let's get back.
I want to have a look at that later, Braxton, if you would.
I think I would like to too, just not here.
Alright. Need to figure out what this thing is.
So where
So
are
I
you
guess
guys
we'll-
going when you get back out here? What's the plan?
Does Rook actually look hurt? At all?
Not physically.
Like, physically, he looks tired, but not hurt.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, he looks like he might have, like, a level of exhaustion or something.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Should we head further down the hall? Found the new orcs down that way. Or we can go back up the stairs.
I think we should find somewhere safe and make camp.
That
Whether
sounds
that's
good.
upstairs or down here, I don't really care. But
Well, let's travel a bit up. Illusion, what's this room again?
Oh, that's Eobar.
Oh. Well, we have an ancient dwarven city right over here with a whole bunch of rooms in it.
is Eodbar clear?
Yes.
There are no more spirits there.
We got rid
Eldbar
of
was
that spell.
completely cleared of spirit. Yes.
All right.
Because we returned the dwarven helm and then everything went back to normal.
Come on.
I will look at
I-
Sparky, or sorry, at at Braxton and Yuri, and I will say, do not, under any circumstances, take anything out of this room that we're going into. Please.
And why would I do that? I said,
It's an
you
ancient
gotta
dwarven
respect your
city.
ancestors. And I just walk off.
You saw the spirits upstairs, I explained to Braxton. That's what's gonna happen if we take anything out of here.
I'll set aside my slippery fingers.
Yes, but really, really don't take any.
All right, I won't.
Please.
I'm not a thief anyway. I was just joking about the slippery fingers.
Okay.
Can never be too sure with these things.
Your group travels for a while down the large stretch here until eventually getting to the entrance to Eodbar, and the gates are ajar, allowing you to step inside, and it's exactly as you remember it. Here there is a very large dwarven hall, and it seems as though it is maybe about 2 or 3 times larger than the last one, the one that the city is currently holed up in.
Okay, looking around, hopefully with a survival check or something, is there any traces of any orcs being in here?
Oh. Yeah, make a perception check, please.
Perception, alright. 20.
20. Ah, okay. Looking around, no, there is not any evidence of orcs.
Good. So it hasn't been disturbed since the last time we've been down.
No. There is a path through all of the dwarven bodies and all of their possessions and everything as you kind of like make your way around them and get inside, but there's no evidence of any like orcish weapons laying around or like
Okay.
fresh camp or something like that.
Okay. Alright.
You guys
Make
take a
some
long
rooms.
rest.
Yes, but as we kind of break up, I want to go find Braxton.
Okay, sure. So everybody starts to find a place, and you guys
I wanna
can
go-
over.
I want to go look for a forge.
Ah, interesting. As you step into these halls, you find them very easy to navigate, and you just like kind of instinctively go like, oh, well, if I were to put a forge in a dwarven city, it'd be down here, and you travel down a hallway, and sooner than later, you're standing in front of like a great forge.
My god. It's beautiful.
It's an authentically made dwarven forge. It's exactly like what you remember back home. Here, you can see that there are symbols around the forge in the area, and you see what looks like what might be like an offering bowl or an altar or something like that, and the symbols and the gods that they must be to are foreign to you, but everything else, like the architecture and the layout and the like squarish nature of the large forge itself is all just as it should be.
Fuck, I apparently have nothing on my character. What the hell? I'm looking at the wrong character, that's why. Yeah, no, I wanna admire it for a good while, but I also like I wanna brood over the potential of like using it, see if I can find the things necessary to get it up, but not actually get it running.
Oh, sure. Okay. So meanwhile, Earsville and Braxton, you're having a chat.
Hopefully, like, once everybody turns in, so this will be a little bit.
Hey, you can find ample space to have a private chat if you want. This place is huge.
Do you want to look at it now or tomorrow?
Yes.
Now. All right. Hand it over to you.
Okay. Are you touching it with your bear skin?
Yes.
Okay.
I
As you
probably would
grab
have without
hold of
thinking
this
about it on
Earsville,
accident.
I'd like you to go ahead and roll a wisdom check, since that is your spellcasting modifier here.
Okay. It's a 14.
14. Okay. You feel the same thing. It looks like a mundane object, but there's an energy about it which definitely denotes it as being magical in some way. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try to copy what Rook did earlier. Just kind of like look at it and see if I see any distortion or any sort of thing like that.
Okay.
Here, tell me what you see, and I'll write it down.
Of course.
Okay. As you stare at it, something begins to happen. The point at which you're looking at on the orb begins to seemingly grow darker, and then you see what look like a smoke that's billowing from that slowly begins to spread out over the surface of the orb.
It's like this blackness, and it's like a smoke that covers the surface really slowly. Can you see this?
Do I see this?
You do not.
That is not what I see. It looks gray and normal.
I see.
Maybe the wielder only sees it.
Okay, I'm gonna look up at Braxton for a second, and then look back down at the orb.
The orb seems normal when you look back.
Breaking
Did it
line of
change?
vision resets the processes.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
I'll look at it a little bit longer, and I'll kind of stare at it for a bit longer this time.
Okay.
See if there's any other changes.
It grows larger and larger. It now covers like an inch of the orb, and then 2 inches. Will you keep going?
It seems to grow bigger. Just not too much of a change. Just gradual blackness. But yeah, I'll keep staring at it for now.
As you stare at it, you see something. It's like the smoke begins to change, and instead of moving out in a smoky pattern, it does so like it's jagged almost. It looks almost like a scale, and then like another like dark scale comes in underneath it, pushing the pattern outwards, and then another one. It becomes more and more intense to the point where it will soon consume the entirety of the orb. Do you keep looking?
I'm gonna keep kind of describing to Braxton what's happening.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like scales just coming out in like points now. It's not even anymore. It's most of the sphere now. I'll kind of like move my thumbs to where the edge is as I'm like holding this in both hands, so he can tell like what the progress is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um,
It's about to finish. Do you let it?
should I let it?
I don't know. Are you ready?
I let it finish.
Okay. I have a
Just
roll to
remember
make.
what happened to Rook.
I know. I want some answers.
Keep a clear mind.
Oh boy.
We're really trying to die right now. What
The
the
ball
fuck?
just disappears in your hand, and it's gone. And Braxton, you
That's
see
not-
this as well. It just vanishes, and then 4 points on the ground in front of you appear, written in some sort of magical light, and you see the same pattern begin to progress. Points are drawn out from it, and lines begin to form towards the center until there is a 4-pointed star, and then circles begin to trace around it.
Okay, I will cast guidance on myself this time.
Okay.
And wait.
Okay. As you continue to watch this, Braxton, you can see this magic as well. And as it spreads out here, You notice that the writing seems different, though the rest of the symbols all seem quite familiar. The writing that kind of fills the spaces in between is not exactly the same as the one that had occurred to Rook.
Noted.
And eventually the pattern completes. Another roll. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Actually, we normally would take a break 30 minutes from now. Do you want to take it right now, folks?
Good.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's
Let's take
easier.
a quick 5 or 10.
All right.
I could try to go find water.
Take your 7th-floor trip.
Oh, Uchi, do you know what this sounds like?
What?
I guess it's time you're having to take a trip to the well, just like our good friend Proxima.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have to go to a well though.
And thus a new meme was born.
I'm gonna go look for water.
Oh,
Also,
upstairs.
fuck that. That was some fucking
I'm
define
sorry.
shit.
You got so cucked.
That sucks.
Yes.
You rolled how many ones that fight? 3 or 4? 4. And you did
If you
not
roll
roll
the
a
op-
10.
If you rolled the
He rolled
opposite of
one
what you
roll
rolled,
over a 10.
and it was a con save.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's
I'm
like.
sorry.
Also, in the terms of like Rook's mind, he's like, oh man, Rook is fucked.
Yeah. That's crushing defeat.
I'm so sad that I didn't just pick this up with my hands now. Because it feels like it's all communicating with God shit, and that's like my thing. And now everybody else is like passing it around.
I'm gonna go get water.
No man, gonna baby our warrior Rook. Fucking fighter Rook, you're gonna baby him, and he's never going to recover.
Ooh, I forgot to grab water. Alright, I am back. Is everybody here?
I am.
Eyes.
I don't think Uchi is. I think he's still on his trip to the well.
Ah, yes. Shall let him travel to the well then. I shall stare at boats.
Oh my god. Poor Monday group.
Or Monday group.
God. Look at the last few Twitch chat messages.
I saw. Well, you know. It's kind of like you made your bed, now lie in it.
I
Right?
watched that Monday session and it was
What did they do to die again?
it was that Uchi fight, but for like an hour straight. And it was the whole party, not just one person.
I returned.
Just roll super low all the time.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was like the first 5 rolls of combat, I think, were like a 3, a 2, a 4. It was just like, holy crap.
I don't know what that feels.
Yeah. Wish you would never know what that feels like. I bet that feels like being a bitch. I'm not a bitch. It happens.
That fight reminded me of Lucian, do you remember when snakes invaded the Grey's outpost?
Oh yeah, that was intense.
And then there was the 2 leaders, and then one they casted a bubble on like me and the other leader for combat, and I only rolled 1s and not above a 10.
Yeah.
Oh, Evolution. How long does this big square dealy take to draw its stuff.
You mean for the incantation in front of you to finish?
Yeah, the symbols. Yeah.
It takes probably maybe like 10-20 seconds.
All right. I'm gonna munch on a couple good berries while I wait. Then.
Okay. So, if everybody is here, then we will fire back in. I heard Jacob. Yeah, Jimmy, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet. Aerisville uses the sphere. In front of you, this incantation finishes, and when it finally does, what you see is like a billowing of black smoke that begins to kind of seep out from it, and echoing out throughout the dwarven halls, you hear what sounds like a combination of screams and moans that begin to fill all of the halls. Some of them sound humanoid, and other ones sound like creatures you've never seen before. You could only imagine or paint with your mind's eye.
I'll take a step back.
Everybody
Is
hears
this
this.
different?
From down the hall, you definitely hear this, Yuri. And meanwhile, off in the distance, Rook, you would get this as well. Jay, I assume you're near Rook, you would hear this too. Everybody can hear this.
I'll make my way in.
I'll start running towards it.
Okay. This creature begins to step forth. The first thing that comes through is what looks like a very feline face that comes out. And it seems very like feminine and elegant and alluring and attractive in a strange way. You find yourself almost like drawn to it. And then the next thing that happens is you see the shoulders come up, but there's not a single set of like fur-coated feline arms that come from it, but two. And the lower set is covered in scales, and the rest of this creature seems to meld into the form of that of an incredibly large python. It's like it has a Naga's body afterwards. She is beautiful and terrifying at the same time, and completely naked before you, and takes an immediate movement towards you. What do you do?
Does this movement seem aggressive?
You see that she grins before doing it, but she doesn't draw weapons or anything. Indeed, it doesn't seem like she's wearing anything.
Can I roll as I run into the room? Do I notice anything like religious about the symbol on the floor this time, or?
It would be gone by now, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not expecting this. I don't really do much as she approaches here.
Okay. Immediately, her hands are around you. You feel a feline palm that graces your cheek, and then a pair of serpent-like hands that caress around your waist and begin to move around your body. And she curves around, her serpentine form kind of moving in between you and Braxton, and then, not whispers, but in a low tone says, "Hello."
Hentai.
Hello? My name's Irisville. Who are you?
I could just eat you up.
I definitely want to draw this scene.
This is my fetish.
I would rather you didn't, really.
You see that she begins to move further around you, and as she does, a large snake coil now completely goes around like your lower half. And then she moves over towards Braxton and says, "And who might you be?"
Braxton, who might you be?
She smiles towards you and then gives you like a very, very thorough look all the way up and all the way down.
Oh, I'll give her a very thorough look as well.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh.
I'd like you to make for me a saving throw, please. Charisma.
Well, we know who's going to be having this fight.
All right. As you look at this creature, there's like very little that is humanoid about it. However, you are completely entranced by her movements and find yourself just absolutely in awe of her beauty. She then turns away from you, Braxton, and faces towards Irisfield, and looks at you and says, "So, why have you called me?"
Well, I was actually looking for the Thunder guy, but we could definitely use some aid down here.
Could you?
Some questions answered.
She reaches forward and with a hand kind of like undoes the top button on your shirt.
Oh yeah, we could definitely use some sexual favors down here.
All right, I'm making a drawing.
Let's see.
It's starting.
Uh-huh.
The rest of you have
Seem
arrived
capable.
by now and can see this.
I have not.
You
I
have
will be
not?
at the forge. I have made the decision to
Not help the team from all the screams.
No, they have fucked up on their own right. I realized that when I heard the sound, I'm just like, you fucking idiots.
Okay, so you stay in the forge. Let's go ahead and populate the scene here as it's going to become relevant.
I will say I am still like debating whether I go or not. Might go, might not. Who fucking knows?
So the incantation was there, and you guys would be there, and we'll just get a placeholder. We'll make it a snack
Uchi with his demon girls,
Heck.
with his demon girls. Yeah,
monster girls.
he's got a plethora of images to fill in your imaginations.
This is my fetish.
More imagination?
Needs to be more cat.
Look, man, I don't need
Sorry, I'll find
any
one.
images from Uchi. I've got a perfect understanding of what this creature looks like. Dreams are coming true.
Uchi, I need some Photoshop work out of you. Take the lower half of that body and get me.
So you guys are arriving, and you can see this.
D-line.
This, however, doesn't look like an incantation. It's just like billowing smoke that comes from the ground constantly. Okay. See, did he post? Okay, never mind. Oh, that thing.
No. I found.
I'm trying my hardest.
I believe. Jay, Rook, what do you guys want to do as you run up and see this? Irisfield is coiled up by this creature, and it seems that she's paying very close attention. You even see a hand that goes forward, one of the four hands there, which partially undresses her.
This creature seems like it would go against Bella, right? Like, this does not look like something Bella would approve of.
Given how many sessions we've played and everything, I'm going to leave that to your judgment.
Okay. I'm gonna walk in and be like, "Who are you, demon?" Like, looking
Hey.
directly at her.
She's beautiful. Don't call her a demon.
Oh man, demons can be beautiful too. Shut the fuck up, Braxton.
Ignoring Braxton.
At least give her a chance. So judgmental.
The creature grabs a hold of your shoulders, Irisfield, and then kind of coils behind you. And looking over your back, Jay and Rook, you see the creature stares at you and then whispers something in Irisfield's ear, though you cannot hear it from the distance that you're at. And she whispers to Irisfield and says, "Very handsome friends."
Yes. Mostly.
Do I see the incantations?
You see a billowing black hole of smoke in the ground in front. Post that on Twitch. I'm gonna fucking post that. Oh my god. That is too good.
That's what I was fucking laughing about. I saw it, but the fucking link wasn't working, so I had to upload to Imgur. Fucking
Holy
beautiful,
fuck.
man.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
fucking perfect.
Oh. Whew.
Recover.
Recover.
God dang it. How to break immersion 101.
Oh, it was fucking worth it.
It needs.
I'm not saying it's not. It's pretty great.
You're looking at it, bud.
Oh my fuck.
Yeah, Braxton, it's really beautiful. You're just
That's what I'm
fucking-
drawing right now.
Okay.
She's
Irisville,
gorgeous.
this creature is completely around you now. Any possibility that you had of escape is now gone.
Okay.
Like if you tried to shimmy out of here, it would not happen. It is too late.
Got him.
The creature is now behind you, and she whispers into your right ear as her head is positioned there. You can feel like her soft fur against the side of your face, and her hands begin to like drift into your shirt. And she says, "So what kind of help did you want?"
Sword ready. Sword is up.
Okay.
At this point, Alicia,
Sword
I
is
will
up!
start walking back.
You know what that
I have
means.
to-
Sword is up.
Yeah, my sword is up.
Braxton's
just gonna
sword's
start
up.
walking towards the room now. I'm not really rushing, just walking.
Yeah, you can hear this like a
Definitely.
conversation happening over there, and the screams and everything have stopped.
If her
Oh God, Ripucci.
Uh-oh. Let's wait a moment. That was probably
Yeah.
important.
Wait, but he's not at home anymore. What?
hello,
It's his computer.
Shouldn't be having internet
Oh, back.
issues.
IDC.
That picture's not bad, Clanran. It's like that with an extra set of arms, but like steeped in sex appeal. Instead of being steeped in DeviantArt.
What I was saying is, if her snake hands go to any zone, my sword is going at her.
Oh, yeah, like they're in Irisville's shirt.
Are they? Oh, are they like past the no-no zone?
They're fast approaching the no-no zone. They teeter on the precipice of the no-no.
As
But I mean,
soon
she's a
as that line
child.
is-
She doesn't. That's not even a no-no zone for her because she's just a child.
Yeah, it's under development.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, even
All of you.
worse.
Even worse.
She hasn't said no yet. Let it happen.
Jesus.
Wait,
Let
hold
it
on.
happen, says Braxton.
Yo,
This
man,
is-
age is just
my-
a number. You should. There's no like age limit on consent. Come on.
My lolly girl is inside a snake monster girl.
Okay.
Irisville
all
wanted
right,
this. She
all
told me to take very detailed notes.
So anyway, yes, this creature is doing this and speaking to Irisville, and Irisville's talking, and she looks, I imagine, frightened, I would guess. How are you looking there, Irisville?
Frightened, just like really put off by this. She was expecting like a thunder guy who
Not a
was
rape
like
snake?
super
Not
warrior
a rape
stuff
snake!
and not a snake woman.
Okay.
Rape snake, I think. Is the proper term.
But
Yeah.
she what did she ask again? Why did you?
You need help with again?
She asked what kind of help.
I find the best part about this is it's just like your inner personality come to form. This is Ira's inner personality. Rook is just a fucking thunder god, and Ira's just this fucking rape snake.
I
My
searched
daughter
for
ain't no slut.
information and power.
Well, I could certainly tell you things.
Sweet, sweet, dark things. Whisper in my ear, please. Oh, hentai.
Alright, there were orcs nearby here in a cave. Yet they vanished from us. Do you know how?
Interesting. I may. Is that what you've called me for? Is that all you want to know? You feel something kind of like cold and wet and warm all at the same time, and realize that she's like licked the back of your ear.
Yes. This is just getting. We need to put like an R-rated filter on the Twitch chat, on Twitch stream. This is not for children. If you're under the age of 13, please vacate the premises immediately.
I'll just place like a dildo in like the dice cam.
Oh my god.
So at
like,
this point,
shadow
Rook and
a little
Jay,
bit.
you should probably reposition yourselves, because I would imagine. Well, are you gonna stay at that distance?
This is your only opportunity to have all your dreams come true in a D&D session, Uchi.
Yeah, but I don't want it read to me by some man.
You don't want to what? Read to me by some man, you said?
I don't want it read to me by some man. I
How
would
dare
like
you
this-
assume my gender, you fuck?
Sorry. I would like my room to be dark, and I'd like to be reading this on my Monster Girl quest.
Well, hit the
EXE.
lights, Nick.
Well, I
Oh,
mean-
Jesus.
Is my mind altered besides thinking she's hot?
It is. The longer that you watch her, the less that you want to detail this situation on the piece of parchment that you have in hand, and the more you want to just take the 2 steps forward that it would take to touch her.
Oh.
Oh.
Is there a save, or should I do that now?
That's up to you. You just feel the want to do that, but whether or not you go through with it is up to you.
I mean, if I
You're-
want to, I'd probably do it.
Here, I'm not your dad, but please say help me so I can rescue you.
Yeah, I'll be walking up.
Okay,
and
alright.
I'll probably say like,
I
Yeah.
want to know.
I like how Jay just has, like, no words. He's just like, what the fuck am I looking at? Just like...
The
demon
quickest way to know if he's one of us or not.
I want to know what it would take, or how to remove these orcs from this mountain. Or the power to do so.
She looks around at the surroundings. Not at your companions, but staring around at the dwarven hall that you're in, looking up at its vaulted ceilings, staring over the incredibly large columns, and then eventually turns back towards you and says, well, you could just kill them.
Of course, but
You all look so strong.
we're not enough. We faced them before and they managed to get away.
I could provide you with some help, but I would need something in return. And you feel a hand that goes across your chest and then reaches like down past your shirt and grabs a hold of your pants, like right at the top of them.
Oh boy. Trump, why are you here?
Down the hall and grab him by the pussy.
is this the DJ from the Taylor Swift trial?
Wait, I got the video.
Oh no.
Down the hall and grab him by the pussy.
That's not words I wanted to hear.
Are my arms free, by the way?
No. They were earlier. They're certainly not anymore.
I'm walking up with Jay now, sword in hand. Dad,
What
angry
kind of
face.
help?
I'll repeat myself and say release her demon.
Okay. The creature looks towards you here and brings her face in front of you so that you can see her ears feel. And she smiles, and the smile is genuinely quite attractive. I need you to make for me a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy. Luck roll. That's a 10.
Okay. She leans forward and gives you a kiss on the cheek, and it feels very warm, and a feeling radiates out throughout you, and you're feeling much less fearful, and More like this creature could offer some real help to you. You're kind of dazed by the whole effect, though, and it's like some sort of powerful healing magic or something is rushing through you, and it kind of like not numbs your senses, but makes them more intense and difficult to really concentrate on anything. And while you're in this sort of cloudy daze, she then kind of gives you another smile and looks over towards your companions who are coming over here. And she stares over at you, Jay, and says, "Release her. She's here of her own will. Isn't that true?" And she looks over to you, Irisfield, to see what you'll say.
Yes.
Oh god.
Can I insight this, or is
It's
that...
taken
Yeah,
us
Can I
Insight.
4
insight that?
years.
Yeah, you can both insight that.
16?
Okay.
Taken us so many years to corrupt him, but I think we
Nine.
finally might have done it.
Okay. Brooke, you're not really sure what to make of this. You don't know if Irisfield is telling the truth or not. It certainly seems like she is. After all, she did summon this creature. And meanwhile, Jay, you think the same thing. However, Irisfield doesn't seem completely like herself. Something seems off.
Can I like? How far are we from the snake?
Whatever your distance is right now, so what? 25 feet roughly for you, and for Jay it would be like 20.
Could I have caught up to Jay by now?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to move yourselves, move yourselves. It's just a
I'm
conversation.
pushing up.
Okay.
Rook,
I'll
you
arrive
coming?
whenever I arrive.
Just riding up behind Jay, like I guess out in the open. Jay, you want me to swing? And I have sword in.
I don't trust this beast.
I'm gonna swing.
The creature looks over to you, Braxton, and says, "Braxton, dear, can you please talk some sense into your companions?"
Leave it to me.
What do you say to them?
Look, guys, we summoned her. She's here to help. She's been nothing but nice. Why swing at the help? Irisfield is with her. She's done nothing to harm anyone. Look, she's gorgeous.
Can I insight Braxton?
Sure.
Just take a step back and let's talk it through.
Another 16.
16? Okay. You are certain that Braxton is under some kind of spell.
Okay.
Though the
Summon her
words
from
that he
the orb.
says and the way that he acts seems normal on the surface, there's something wrong about it.
Braxton, close your eyes.
But then I cannot see the beauty.
Close your eyes.
I'ma close them for you.
Am I allowed to close my eyes?
It's up to you. Yeah, if you want to close your eyes, you can.
I'll humor him. Close my eyes.
You close your eyes, and as you do, you begin to think of the beautiful creature that you know is behind you, and also how you really need to convince Jay to back off.
While his eyes are closed, I am going to creep forward next to this creature.
Once I open them, do I see him there?
Yeah, if you open them, when you hear the footsteps, you'll see him approaching and trying to sidestep around you.
Oh, tricky. I thought you were the truthful one.
I am.
He
Your
didn't
mind
lie
is
to
not
you.
your own.
They're coming closer, my dear. Anything else I should do?
Stop
What
him,
help?
but do not hurt him. I merely want to talk, after all.
Stop him, but do not.
I'll arrive whenever you think good time,
Mhm.
I guess.
Yeah, you were down a pretty long hall, but you'll get there soon.
I think the most I
Okay,
can do is stand between them.
Okay. So, like, I'd like the two of you to make an athletics check contesting each other.
Well, you know I'm losing that one, boy.
That's only a
The
plus
Braxton Nat 20 coming up. Oh, no.
No,
Six.
mine is a 5.
Oh, just barely.
Mine's
Okay.
a 10.
Alright. Braxton, you try to keep him away, but physical strength is not it, and you're unable to keep him back. And Jay, you are able to get very close up to this creature. And she looks over at you, and staring over at you. Let's see what she does. I'll roll to see what she does. Okay. She withdraws her hands from Irisfield's clothing and says, "Fine, fine," and begins to uncoil from her.
Jay, please.
Ira,
Lady,
you know
what-
me. This is not right. Your mind is not your own either. If our travels together mean anything, believe my words.
I'd like the four of you to please roll a perception roll.
Alright, that was 1. This is the perception. Oh, 10.
21.
No! 8.
At least Uchi's finally getting decent rolls.
Don't say that. Why'd you have to comment on it?
What you get, Uchi?
As you get closer, you realize you may have made a mistake, and Irisfield actually seems like she's very sound of mind. Perhaps you just misjudged what had happened. She seems completely normal. And indeed, Irisfield, you feel completely normal. Like the sort of dazing effect has now since left you, and you feel the same. You also note that the coils around you begin to disappear, and that the snake is sort of unwinding itself from you, and you can now move around if you so choose.
I'll just kind of... She's behind me, right?
She's moving in the opposite direction. She's uncoiling so that she ends up over on the other side of you to avoid Jay, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll kind of like turn my head a little bit and continue. Lady, what help do you offer?
Could give you a great gift. I will require something in return, of course. But if your quest is to kill these orcs, I might have something that could give use. You'll just have to give me something that I want.
Anything you want.
What is it that you would like?
Well, you've called me here. What is it that you would like?
Can I like blink for a second?
Maybe some sort of magical weapon to throw these orcs down for good. Perhaps something else of that nature.
A vacuum
Perhaps.
cleaner.
At this point, you would arrive, Yuri,
Ah, yes.
and you would kind of step into the Great Hall, and you're maybe 30, 40 feet away, but you can see this whole thing which has transpired.
Hey, what the hell is that? What in God's name have you been doing while I was down the hall?
Don't be rude. She's here to help.
Ignoring Yuri,
I,
I'll say
Can you ignore somebody who's yelling?
I can. Yes, very
Uh-huh.
good at it actually. I've spent enough time around Rook.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps a bow or a ring of some sort of protective magics.
Oh no,
I
you
could
don't
suit
want none of
myself
that
best.
shit.
She stares over at the rest of you. What are you guys doing?
I'm walking towards Braxton.
Okay. How about you, Jay? And Rook and Braxton?
I'm scowling at Ira. I'm not looking at the snake. I'm just looking at Ira's, like, I guess, the back of her head with, like,
Oh, I'm just
very
like,
unhappy
right up there, you know.
I'm just right up there. Doing.
Ira take.
Wow.
Sword is grasped, staring at the snake. Don't touch my daughter.
Daughter.
You didn't have her home by 7.
Kind of like
Whatever
give
you do to
Brooke
her,
a-
we're doing
a
to you.
strange look.
Whatever you do to her, we're doing. Better touch her boobs then, Jay.
Ah,
Oh god.
phrasing, perhaps. I'll look back at the creature.
Well, your group doesn't seem very receptive to my gifts.
You're right.
We're not.
Don't
I'm
lump me
still
in with
wondering
them.
what you are. Nobody's
You're the
answered me
ones
yet.
who are speaking, though.
She's evil and
We
she's
know them.
tampering with Braxton and Ira's minds, Yuri.
Then fine, Jay.
I have done no such thing. Braxton, you're no longer under this spell, though you still think she's pretty beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Does he feel the difference, though, between...
Yeah, do I know there's difference?
So the words that you have just said, they don't feel forced, but you definitely feel like you might not have said them.
Rape does not equal death.
Oh, but now, if I make that known, she might freak out.
So it's up to you what you want to do, but the spell has been lifted from you. She leans down, bringing her her upper form like closer down towards the ground, and her snake portion kind of works itself so that it's like a circle, a large circle that allows you to be resting in it, Irisfiel, as well as Braxton.
God dang it.
the Ira token.
Alright. God dang it. That stupid snap thing.
I'll give you perms if you're able to take it off with that.
Please.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure I can. Let's see.
Can you click the dots? Yeah, there it is. Gone.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful. Perfect.
Yes, hopefully.
Does that mean we can stand next to Ira now?
Yep.
Oh my
There's
god.
Probably gonna...
How big is this snake lady?
She's fairly large. As far as like how strong she might be or anything like that, she doesn't look like she's like a hulking creature.
Oh yeah, it's still above it there.
But the long snake-like portion that slithers along the ground is really quite long and could be upwards of 10 feet just on its own. Can you not, you motherfucker?
She didn't give us a. Did she give us a name yet? Did she give us her name yet?
No.
No, she hasn't. But both you and Irisfiel are currently sort of wrapped around in this this circle here.
Perhaps if you gave my companions more reason to trust you, they might be willing. They're just a bit cautious, is all. We don't even know your name, after all.
How large is the circle she's made? I'm assuming we're all outside it.
It's probably about like it stretches from here, and then the tip of the tail kind of comes to there.
Kind of draw myself up. I would be willing to make a deal with you.
Ira.
Very well. What I require from you is merely that you bear my seal, and I will give you what you desire. You see that she holds up her hands and puts them to her side, so that the top layer is above the bottom layer, and the two sets of hands come together, and then as they pull away, you see a sort of rippling dark smoke that starts to disappear, and in its place, you find one hand has a bow, and the other has a ring. They look
Era.
completely mundane. Like, one is like a plain wooden ring with nothing on it, and the other one is another one which is like a plain wooden bow.
Longbow, I assume.
Yes.
Just make sure. Alright.
Era. Please.
And what would this seal be?
Well. It would be folly for me to try and explain it to you. You could think of it like carrying a piece of me around. But
Would it be
made
harmful?
clear it wouldn't be that bad, would it? She gives you a
Would it
smile.
Would it be harmful to me or my companion?
She shrugs the most nonchalant shrug you could possibly imagine.
Alright, can I insight that?
Sure, yeah, roll insight.
Alright. Now using the guidance that has not been popped yet. And that is a... Hold on. Insight, which I do not have proficiency at 23.
Okay. You think... You think that she's bluffing in that when she shrugs there, she definitely knows what it's gonna do, but just doesn't want to tell you. And you know that she's putting on a show to some degree here when she does that gesture.
Lady, I don't need to know what it does. I only need to know that it won't cause harm to me, or I'll look at the rest of the party. Mine.
When you look at Jay, I'm just looking at you with like the most scorn you've seen in my face ever in your direction.
One of the free hands that isn't currently holding an item reaches over towards your face, Braxton. Do you move away or stop it or anything?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You'll probably have to move a little bit, but you shuffle away as the hand extends over, and you notice that the snake portion here narrows. The tail pulls back and moves so that it's only surrounding her and Irisfield, so you are no longer inside of it.
Thank God.
Seeing that the tail's out of the way, I want to attempt to grapple Braxton and drag him away.
Oh, take me.
Athletics
Can I be-
versus athletics or acrobatics if you fight it. Otherwise, you can just drag him.
Oh no,
I
I'll
want
walk
to see what
away.
happens.
Okay.
You can just have me.
That's 13 otherwise.
Yuri assists you on your travel away from this creature. So you can move him wherever you want there.
Can I like
We're
look him in
going
the
this way.
eyes as he's taking me away? Can I look him in the eyes and be like wide-eyed and like nod back to her, like, and mouth like fight or something? Like,
Does he look like he's attempting to struggle even if he's not physically doing it?
No, Braxton's not struggling. He goes with you when you go to grab him.
No, but isn't that what he's describing right now?
No,
he's
he
tr-
wants
I'm
Free
to.
describing
to
looking
fight.
you in the eyes, like wide-eyed and mouthing the word "fight" to you.
Fight me.
No.
Oh, whatever.
So what do you
Just
say
gonna
to
drag
her, Irisfield?
I said I don't need to know what it does. I just need to know that
Right.
it won't hurt
So-
me or mine.
So she reaches over, and seeing that Braxton kind of walks away and everything, she lets him go and repositions so that only you are here in her circle. And she turns towards you and says, I assure you it won't hurt anybody.
That was the most sarcastic thing I've ever heard.
Well, if Yuri's not doing anything, can I go to like Jay or
No,
something?
no. You're fucking grappled.
Where are you taking me? You're taking me out of the room.
Yeah, I'm taking you out of the fucking room.
Oh, well, if we're not in earshot anyway, I'll be like, I can whisper to you. She casts a spell on me. She has a spell on Ira. We have to go back in there.
I'll leave it to them. They're
No.
more than capable.
She's
I'm
gonna-
not taking you away.
She's gonna kill them.
Yeah, no, I'm not listening to this guy. I'm dragging him away.
All right, well, now I'll try to get away then.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Contested check, please. Athletics against athletics or acrobatics for Braxton.
Oh!
Uh-huh.
No, that's a
25.
19.
That's a 25.
I almost wanted to roll to a 20.
You are stuck and being dragged off out of the room. Meanwhile,
All right,
back over
I shock and
here.
grasp him. He can't react, and then I...
We'll get to that in a second
Oh.
here. Meanwhile, back in the room,
Oh.
she tells you that it most certainly won't hurt anyone. Do you accept? You can have your choice of either of these. I assure you, they're both
I'm gonna
very
insight.
powerful.
That again. Which is a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
You think that she's telling the truth?
I look at Jay. Is he still staring at her, or is he?
I imagine. You looking at Ira there, Jay?
Oh, sorry, my mic is muted. At this point, I'm like
I'm gonna turn and look
past
at the pair of you.
disappointment. I'm like full on angry at this point. Like for like my eyebrows are now furrowed, but not because I'm concentrating. I'm just that mad. It's like a straight line across. It's
There's
like a
too much.
straight line across my forehead.
This is a dangerous amount of eyebrow action this session. The creature leans down to your ear to whisper something to your ears, Phil, and she says, "Your friends are getting awfully angry with me, but I've been nothing but useful. What do you say we talk about this without them here? I fear one of them will hurt me soon."
Okay, I'll look
Want me
at
to swing,
look
Jay?
at Jay. I can see what he thinks. Look at Rook.
You hear me say, "Hey Jay, you want me to swing?" Say the words and I'll do it.
It seems that her appraisal of the situation was spot on.
I'll look at Braxton then as he's being dragged out.
Yep, Yuri's got him. He might be small, but he's strong as fuck.
And then I'll turn back to the snake lady and say, "I'm sorry, lady, but the power I would gain is not worth the trust I would lose. I'm sorry."
Interesting. Interesting. She says to you, "I've wasted my time. My time is precious, just like you are. You owe me something for calling me here."
I'll just look her right in the eyes. Wait.
If you're really gonna back out of this, then now is the appropriate time to begin making me some offers so that I don't get upset.
Parting gift, then. Then
Tabletop, just
I'll...
offer up Braxton.
She's somewhat close to me then.
She's coiling around you again. There's enough space that you could like step out of it, but yeah, she's in a circle around you. Her body is literally a 360 around you.
Okay. I'll lean up and just kiss her on the lips.
She looks at you and dryly just says, "That's not enough."
Not enough.
Oh boy.
What is?
Continue to drag Braxton away.
I'm trying to shock and grasp him when I get a chance.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that right now if you want. Roll to shock and grasp him. What's your AC, Yuri?
16.
That's great. He's hugging me and I can't touch him.
Yep. Braxton waves a hand at you, and you're able to move out of the way. You can see lightning in his palm, like he's trying to touch you with some sort of horrid electrocution spell, but you move out of the way.
Oh, what the fuck is that? I want to go into a rage and I want to hit him on the head.
Oh no. Make an attack, please.
Just hit him with my fist. You know, on the head.
Hey, we both rolled
wait.
twos.
You swing, but grappling and swinging at the same time is difficult, and you miss. So you guys hear that there's like a scuffle happening down the hall, and that Braxton and Yuri are like yelling at each other, and you hear magic and like swinging and scuffling and everything.
I should have reckless attacked that.
I'm gonna go, you foolish dwarf.
Do we hear that she's asking for a gift or no?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. If I had reckless attack, I would have still gotten a 2.
You would hear that. It's
I'll
soft
dig
and
into
quiet,
my-
but you definitely hear it.
I'll dig into my bag and pull out one of the red dragon scales that I still have. Not the necklace.
I
But
know.
I picked up 2 of them, and offer it to her and say, "A treasure you won't find very many places. Scale from a red dragon."
She looks it over for a moment. Holding it in her hand, she kind of turns it over one way, then another, and then it just disappears into nothingness. And she says, "A nice gift, but not enough."
I have little else. Drawings. I have a drawing of the universe. A hairbrush. Some cloaks.
My clothes.
Little else.
Perhaps some time with you, or maybe one of your companions.
With me.
She smiles. The rest of you see this. Are you guys going to do anything?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna swing.
Okay.
I'm still dragging on Braxton.
No.
The hallway scuffle.
Yeah, Jay?
I'll look at them. This is my fault.
The creature gets close to Irisfield behind her and looks at her in a predatory way as her hands begin to grab onto her again. The items disappearing this time into thin smoke, and all 4 of the hands beginning to move over her body.
Wait, they're moving over Ira's body?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm swinging.
Okay, roll your attack.
Normal.
No.
Well, I'm swinging.
That was the
boy.
most indecisive die roll I've ever seen.
Oh boy.
That's 20.
You definitely hit. Roll damage.
Oh boy.
Well, combat it is.
9, that's 12 damage.
12? Okay. 12 damage. Are you making swings, Jay?
I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
Oof.
God.
Now, Guiding Bolt is at a disadvantage from melee, but she's like 8-9 feet away from me. Is that far enough for it to not be a disadvantage?
She is right in front of you, but given the way that her form works and how she's not exactly threatening you right now, you're more so attacking her when she's off guard. You can roll normally. Oh wow.
21.
This is looking pretty
boy.
intense. Assemble the D6s.
God dang.
15 radiant damage.
Okay. Rook, you swing with your mighty sword, and it cuts a deep gash into the snake portion that is in between you and Irisfield. She screams out in pain as you do, and then you see Jay throw out a bolt of radiant light that strikes her and leaves a charred mark about her form. Her lower rib cage burns there, and she lets out an even louder scream, and she grabs a hold of you suddenly, Irisfeel, and seizes you with her forearms. And she says to you, probably for the first time in an angry tone, she says, "You'll pay dearly for this," and then drags you towards the hole here. Are you making any attempts to escape from her grasp?
Yes. At this point, it's all over. Let's do this.
Okay. I need you to
so-
make for me a contested grappling check here.
I was just gonna shift into direwolf form. Can I do that instead?
No, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
No, it's not gonna work.
Okay. Then we'll do that.
Oh wow, she rolled a
That's
1.
Ah,
That's a 21.
Okay. As she goes to move with you, it's so swift that you barely have any time to react, but you're able to just kind of barely nudge yourself out of her arms. She stops immediately and turns back towards you. What do you want to do?
This must be over. I was willing to pay the price, but I'll not be taken away forever.
She turns towards you and lunges in your direction, and as she does, her form changes completely. And if you guys are about to do combat like I think you are, now's the time to roll initiative.
Alright, here we go, boys.
oh man, I'm gonna have to punch Braxton to maintain my rage just to get over there.
You missed.
Oh,
You're
fuck.
out of rage. You didn't.
No,
thought if you
hit- make
no,
an
no, you
attack.
just have to make an attack.
Okay.
That would suck so much if you had to hit each time. Oh my
Plus, an
God.
attack was made against you, so
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, like for this turn,
Or make an attack.
I have to take damage or
You
make
could
an
just-
attack.
you could just run up and
Whoa!
roast
I think that's more than 30 feet. I think that's more than 25 feet. I only moved 25. That's fucking 45.
just run up and throw a rock at her or something.
No, it has to be a melee attack.
No, for rage, it's just any attack.
No,
Pretty sure it has to be
it's
melee.
melee. Okay, there we go.
Clanran is angry.
Look, Clanran, we're not going to kill ourselves. We're not Monday.
Oh,
we don't do PvP.
We do like pseudo PvP. Mostly involves me hitting somebody, but that's about it.
It doesn't have to be a melee attack, by the way.
Pretty sure it does.
goodness gracious.
Nope.
It ends if you haven't attacked. It doesn't say anything about how you attack.
Oh, it's just for the damage. It has to be melee.
Yeah.
Illusion goes to look up the stats for this thing that's gonna murder us.
No, I have the stats already. I'm looking at the rage roll.
But one thing I know is barbarians, baby.
Ow. Alright, fair enough.
I just prefer not hitting our allies when we're about to fight a god or a fucking demon.
Demigod.
This thing touched my daughter. I'm gonna smite the shit out of it.
Okay. Let's see here. So, rolling initiative for it. Let's see. Where are we? There's my purple die. It's my favorite. Plus. Okay. So you are first to go there, Braxton. Off in the hall, you continue to wrestle with Yuri.
If you're not going to let me go, I'm going to have to hurt you. He looks like he's
You
gonna let
didn't
me
do a
go.
very good job of that last time, but I'll let you go.
Oh,
And I let him go.
oh, good. All right, let's go see what else is happening in the room.
Okay.
And now, I was out of the room, now I'm in, and I see the scuffle.
There's a wall here, by the way.
But
Alright.
Because you guys would
You
have
may.
taken it off to the corner, right, to go and do the thing, so...
You may be beautiful, but your heart is made of black smoke. And I'm casting vicious mockery at her.
Oh,
So she
Vicious.
rolls
what kind of save?
a wisdom saving throw.
8.
That does not pass.
That'd be so sad if it did.
That'd be amazing.
So she has disadvantage on her next attack, and she takes 4 psychic damage.
Okay.
playing a wizard, having a negative intelligence modifier for the goals of it.
Rook, you're up.
A Gronk sorcerer. Or the Gronk wizard, rather.
I have a lot of anger. Now something to take it all out on. Am I... Oh, I wanted to ask this earlier. Am I, like, what's gone on me? Health-wise / action-wise?
What? You guys never finished your long rest.
Nope.
No.
So am I at 1 health?
Yeah, you're at 1 HP.
I thought you said
Oh,
he had no
You
physical
woke
damage.
up from your stuff. Like, your body is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. You have whatever the stats were previous to you doing that ordeal with the angel.
Okay.
So everything. Nice.
I'll take a... oh, it's thingamajig right now, yeah? It's marked?
Marked?
It has disadvantage. It is not.
Because of the guiding
No,
bolt.
it's got guiding bolt on
The
it.
first, yeah,
Ooh,
until
that's
Jay's
right.
turn, it's everything's advantage, right?
No, just the first attack.
The first
It's advantage.
First attack.
So is
So
it-
you
is
can
it
take
gone?
that if you want there, Rook.
You know I will. This is Great Weapon Master?
Yeah, baby.
That's the way to
Rook
use
rolls,
it.
Here we go.
Oh
That's not.
Wow.
So
if that-
sorry. Nice
Is
7,
this Jay?
boyo.
Fuck.
Oh, look.
Uh-huh. Fuck you, weapon surgeon. Great Weapon Master. Is it an advantage
See-
or no?
No, it wouldn't be.
I'm assuming he, was literally no different. Like, he still has all that shit. Despite the fact he used it in spirit form.
Yeah, he still has everything. So you can make these.
Okay.
It was a 16.
A 16 hits, roll damage.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Atta boy.
10, 20 damage.
20 damage. Okay. Oh, that's a pretty heavy one. She screams out as you strike her with this sword, leaving a very large gash on the side of her snake form here. And
Told you to take your hands off.
she scowls at you, but then turns back to charge at Irisfield. Is that your turn?
Yep.
It's your turn, Irisfield.
Okay. I'm gonna do something a little bit different here, and I'm gonna be a bear this time.
Okay.
Just going full min-max.
I haven't used bear yet, but there's no need for movement here. This is just a straight up fight. So we're doing claw and bite.
Okay.
Claw is wow. Both of
man.
those are gonna hit with 21s. And does anybody know what bear does? Hold on.
Bear!
Here we go.
Quick,
Alright.
get out the Google machines.
Yep. So we've got
Bears put out fires, Josh. That's what they do.
8
Only you can prevent
Damage.
forest fires.
and oh boy, wow. 15. So 23 damage.
23.
Bears.
Wow.
Yeah,
Bears.
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 Okay. She looks pretty badly wounded right now. Though her form is clearly unnatural, it is not immune to damage, and you can see that she is now covered in crimson, which leaks from different wounds that you and your allies have put into her.
Alright, that's my turn. I'm done. That's all I can do.
Seeing you transform, she recoils back, not fast enough to evade your strikes, but it's clear that she's withdrawn to some degree now, and she looks over towards you, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, interesting. Alright.
DC is 16.
That is a 20. No. Plus 3, so 18. Sorry.
When she sees that the effect does not take hold, she says to you, "I curse you to the end of your days," and then turns around and goes to leave through the portal here. And if you two want to make opportunity attacks, you can.
Yes.
I wish to.
I am not letting this being cursed be and then run off. That's a 15 to hit.
Okay. 15 will
You
hit.
make great friends.
How badly is she looking?
She's bleeding all over.
It's 11 damage.
Okay.
Normal.
Still so defeated.
It's cause I am.
That's
That hits. Full
Yeah.
damage.
Would have hit with great weapon.
I know. Don't talk about it. 9, 12 damage.
12. Okay. A couple more strikes, and she looks very wounded before
Oh,
reaching the
no.
portal and disappears beyond it. You can watch as the dark smoke begins to curl back as the portal closes. What do you guys want to do?
Is it
Yell.
closing?
Yeah, it's closing. There's time to go through it if you wanted to.
fuck. No. No. No.
It's my turn next, right?
No.
After her turn, yep, it's all you there, Jay. What do you want to do?
I step in front of the portal and say, "Nobody goes through." That's my turn.
Guiding bolt through the
Just
portal.
standing in front with my arms outstretched, like, "No, we are not going through."
Okay, Yuri, what are you doing?
I was going to, like, get even madder, but now, like, there's nothing to be mad at aside from Braxton, so maybe I just have to, run over and punch Braxton?
It's the only logical choice.
Yeah, it's
Like, I'm mad.
right.
What are you gonna
No. I'm gonna be sad, angry and sad, and I'm gonna be over here.
do? Okay. Next up is Braxton. What do you want to do?
Oh, I was muted, sorry. So I'll shoot a blast through the portal, but I'm not going through there because Jay's pretty set,
Okay,
if that is a thing.
sure. You can try and fire one there. Make an attack
Why?
roll like you would
No,
normally.
why not? Just as
He
a
rolls a
blast.
critical
by
one.
the way.
Falls.
Blast Jay.
I was about to
Yeah,
say
to
critical
say
one fall in the
It
portal.
was gonna be 17, but then it's like, oh, nat one, okay.
Roll damage. It's applied to you, Jay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's okay. I haven't taken damage in a while.
Hey, it's only a little touch. Little two
Hitting you in the
damage.
side of the leg here, you see Braxton fires a spell which aimed down, doesn't quite hit its target and instead strikes your leg.
I didn't go through the portal, Jay.
It hits Jay in the
fine.
leg, causing him to lose balance and fall through the
It falls
portal.
in the portal.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Brooke, how about you? What are you doing?
What's Ira's face look like? A
A
bear.
It's almost unbearable.
Oh no.
I stand there. End turn.
He's gonna bear with it.
Irisville, how about you?
I will sit down.
Okay. The combat is now over.
Oh, cute bear.
Well, are you staying in your bear form?
For the
Portal
moment,
closes.
and
You're,
then once the portal closes, I'll turn back in myself and like not meet your eyes.
I want to, without saying anything, just go over and start like, without touching her or anything, inspecting Ira and seeing if there's any sign of this curse, if it looks like there's any like outward effect of it, if actually something happened, or if it was just like a empty threat.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Sweet. Come on. 23.
Nothing seems to be the matter with her. She looks normal.
Okay.
Maybe possibly shaken or whatever, but you know.
As soon as I'm sure of that, I'm just gonna turn and like start looking around the area for the orb, seeing if I find it anywhere. That's all I want to do.
As you look around, the orb seems nowhere to be found.
Okay.
I'm
Despite
gonna.
Go ahead.
You can go.
I was gonna say, despite our caution, Ira, we couldn't keep our wits about us. Even we.
What does Jay's face look like? Are you openly angry? Are you still
Yeah,
upset?
I'm pretty pissed, and I'm just like walking away from everyone.
I see the party disbanding. I'm going to yell, I'm going to sleep! And I'm going to walk down the hallway and go find a bed to sleep in.
Okay.
I'm gonna exude the room, seeing as though there's tension. I'm gonna go. Hey, Braxton, we should probably.
Leave?
What?
Why?
What?
We should leave the room, Braxton.
Oh, why?
Arm around Braxton. We should leave the room, Braxton.
Well, I might leave if you tell me a little about your experience with the orb there, Rook.
I can. Fuck.
You can fuck? I hope so.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're being carried out like a baby.
I take this as a yes to our deal.
The door is closed behind me with my foot.
Okay, some people leave.
So we're in a room right here.
Well, you're in the
In a
main
room.
hall here with I don't know, did
Grumpy
anybody
Bean.
else stay? Did everyone go?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was
Yeah.
a room. Okay,
No, this is like
Oh.
the main hall. You just went to
Okay.
like the back end of it.
Oh,
got it.
okay. We're exuding into a hallway.
Yes.
If Jay's leaving, I'm gonna chase after him.
Okay. So you can catch up to Jay.
Jay, I'm sorry.
I just don't understand, Hero. Our group has never been the most functional, but it's the closest thing to family that I have. And I know that I pal around with Rook, and the two of us seem to hang out the most. But I respected you more than anyone else in this group. I thought that you had everything figured out, and that you were always looking out for us. And then after seeing what it did to Rook, and how broken he was coming out of it, to charge into handling that orb again before
I
we
wanted
even rested.
answers. What could do that to her? I
We had
wanted
no
to
idea
speak
what that
with
magic
thunder.
was. I understand why you did. I'm disappointed. That's all. Magic like this, beyond what we can comprehend, what we can understand. We saw what it did with the that puzzle box. We saw what it could do and what horrors it can contain. I thought we were lucky when Rook wasn't dead after that lightning show earlier.
You're right. Jay, I don't have much time outside. I've been in a monastery all my life. And as much as I seem cautious and cool-headed, I'm still just a girl. I'm sorry. I make mistakes too.
I haven't even hit puberty yet.
God damn it.
Jacob, I hate you so much right now.
Okay, I'm good. I know, Hero. And for the first time since, like, everything, the, scowl on my face starts to drop off. And I just, from here out, let's deal with these things as a group. I think
Alright.
things might have been different if everyone had been around and agreed on it. We were lucky today. And twice we tampered with magic outside of our understanding, and we're all still here. There's nothing lost and only information gained. For what it's worth, as I'm sure it's troubling you, I don't see any sign of any kind of curse on you. I would like to, monitor that the coming days. If you notice anything different, please let me know as soon as possible. But I think it might have been an empty threat.
I hope so. Jay. At this point, I like pull you to stop walking. And kind of like teary-eyed at this point, just give you a hug. Like, I'm sorry.
I'll hug you back, and it's okay. I'm glad you're safe, little one.
You all mean so much to me. When you looked at me like that, I just... Don't be mad at me, Jay.
I'll, like, brush the hair out of her face and say, I'm not mad.
Really?
I understand.
Okay.
And this is where she tells you she forgives you and then joyfully asks you to go buy her a new purse.
What?
Fucking
I'm gonna mute you, Jacob.
Using-
God dang it.
Don't ruin the moment. It's beautiful.
I'll just kind of like bury my head in Jay's chest armor for a bit. And...
Probably not very comfortable, but
No,
I'll
it's
embrace
not.
you to the,
It
I'll
does not
embrace you
matter.
to the best of my ability.
Just buries. I bury my head in Jay's chest armor.
Come
Just
on, let's go
hug
get some
him
rest.
real hard. All right.
And I'll lead her off to try and find everybody who's, I'm sure, avoiding the two of us. But I'll make a show of like having my arm around her so that people know it's not like a thing anymore.
Or perhaps that it is a thing now.
Oh god.
Jealousy is going to beset our work companion.
Anyway, Rook, I believe you have some explaining. I'm taking notes on everyone's counters.
As he
Please.
carries you out like a baby.
He's carrying over his shoulder. I have my book, like my pen, ready to go. Like, all right, Rook, we're going. I'm ready.
Staring at him all sparkly-eyed.
What did you see in there? Tell me.
Pulls it like a little typewriter and puts it in his lap.
Yep.
You know, Braxton, I haven't had too good of a day. I didn't get to slap that snake in.
I saw you slap it a couple times.
What I'm saying, Braxton, is I'm gonna throw you against this wall.
I've done nothing but trying to help.
Uh-huh.
Look, sometimes you just need to talk about the bad things, and then you'll get past it. And it'll help us learn more about this strange item. It's a win-win.
Let's just not touch him anymore. I think that's what we learned today.
Oh, that could be good. I mean, what was the challenge that was brought forth to you by the loincloth-wearing, lightning club-wielding giant?
You know, I already have Jay. I don't need this.
Oh,
Drop him.
I'll give you a day, okay? But I want to hear it.
Let's have like a fist fight. If you win, I'll tell you.
A fist fight? that hardly seems fair.
Would Braxton do 0 damage because it's 1 minus his strength mod?
Technically, yes.
The safest fight Rook could ever take.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I can use my fist to cast Shocking Grasp.
I mean, how do you grasp something when your hand's clenched into a fist?
With lightning.
Use both hands. Like you take like the 2 fists and clasp around them.
You don't have to tell me what was so horrible. Just maybe the surroundings, what he said to you would be helpful.
It was a fight. I lost. I was good now. Are we good?
Did you fight him?
I put Braxton down. I'll happily talk about anything else with you. Name a subject. Anything. Literally anything. Please. Please anything else.
Oh, where are you from, Rook?
Generic.
What is this watercolor ass bullshit?
Do you have any qualifications?
You're
Do
not
you
a
meet the proper
talker,
qualifications?
It's
Does-
fine.
To have an
Is
interview with me?
anybody else doing anything? Please, can we switch the spotlight
I'll
here?
leave.
My character's going to fucking sleep, man.
Can Jacob make a roll for a shitty axe or something?
I'll
Look,
leave you.
look,
Yeah,
look.
please.
I will do that. Look, I've got a forage, but I want to go to sleep first because my character's just used both his rages and still suffering from exhaustion, which I completely forgot about. I'm sorry.
Well, are you guys going to go ahead and try to get a long rest then?
Yeah.
Not
About
yet.
time. No, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
I wish I
Okay.
had a Jade.
So who is
If you
not
have
going
what?
for that long rest and is doing something?
Think
I'm
just
harassing
me.
Rook.
Okay. What's your business here, Sphil?
I'm going to go see if I can find some of those mushrooms because I'm not quite ready to go trance or whatever the hell elves do yet.
Okay. So you're gonna go and leave the hall and see if you can find some mushrooms out there.
Quietly, yes.
Okay. Is everybody else gonna settle in for a sleep?
Yep.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I guess so. Fine, Rook.
You go ahead and start to wander out, and because everyone's going to bed, you don't have to be too quiet to know that you've managed to successfully make it out into the world at large. Now,
Okay.
here in the large caverns, you're going to go and look around for these mushrooms, and
Yep.
are you going to just go and check like the next few tunnels, that sort of thing?
I'll kind of check the walls. I'll go just, I don't know, 5 or maybe 10 feet. I'll look into the other tunnels and see if I see anything.
Sure.
But
Okay.
I'm not doing anything particularly risky tonight.
All right. The next one that you go into here, which is just to the left of the initial dwarven ruin, you can see that there are indeed some mushrooms in here, and they look like fairly large ones on the ground. You're unable to see beyond the black and white vision that you have from your dark vision.
Mhm.
But they look like they're maybe about the size of like a small plate. And there's little clusters of them at the bottom of the where the wall meets the ground.
Okay. Are these familiar? The ones that I was looking at before?
Indeed.
Or are these different? Okay. Then I'll cast guidance on myself and examine the floor and surrounding area, see what I can see, if there are any sort of tracks or presence of anything else besides myself.
Survival check.
Right. Oh, that's nice. That's also nice. That's a 24.
You see what looks like clawed footprints that have gone into this this tunnel at one point or another. You can't tell exactly how old they might be, but they're fairly large, and you could easily take your own foot and fit, like, 1 or 2, maybe even 3 of them in space of one of its feet. It has a long set of tracks that go straight down the center of the cavern and head off in that direction.
Okay. And these mushrooms are just like right at the entrance?
Yeah, you can see them clustered around the entrance. Your dark vision only goes so far, but you
Yeah.
can see like further on that there's more that seem to line the cave, at least as far as you can see.
All right. I'll just gather some of those then.
Okay.
And head back.
Okay, so you can add a couple meals worth of mushrooms to your backpack.
Okay. Then I'll take them back and make a fire and take my cooking set and experiment a little bit with these mushrooms before heading to bed.
Okay.
I don't want to be cooking them for anyone yet.
Gotcha.
And this is a relaxing activity.
I see. So, during the night, all of you get a proper long rest. Reset your health, get all of your stuff back, you are good, and are not assailed in the evening.
Wonderful.
Alright.
Irisville, you have an uncomfortable dream during your night.
Oh boy. Alright. Go ahead.
Uchi noise.
Was that Uchi?
Yeah, I think so.
The fucking cough noise or whatever?
It was, definitely was.
Irisville. Oh boy, syrup. Oh no. Irisville, you have a dream where you are in what looks like a field. It has long grass that moves back and forth, much like what you would see on perhaps a windy spring day, perhaps like what today would be if it weren't for all the winter and if you were on the surface. And you can see flowers here and there in the fields, and as you look around, at some point you look down. The whole set of the dream is involuntary. It's not one where you have control, and as you look down, see that you're holding your hands there, and your hands are covered in blood, and then you wake up.
Okay.
Oh man, I would kill somebody too to get winter over.
So kind of like look at my hands now that I'm awake. Kind of like rub them together.
Make an insight check.
Oh. Oh wow, that's a 22.
you don't feel the same. Something's wrong. You don't know what it is, but when you look at your hands, they look like they're your hands, but they don't feel like they're your hands.
How do you mean? Like,
I mean, like,
texture's different?
it's like you're disassociating. Like, as you stare at your hands there, like, you know that they're yours, but they feel like something's wrong with them. Even though to your eyes and your senses, they're, like, completely normal. It's just something about having them there, like, it just, the whole thing feels wrong.
Okay. Then in the privacy of my room, I'll inspect the rest of myself and see if I notice this same sensation anywhere else.
Okay. As you stare, like, you know, down at your feet and everything, and at your arm, you feel that. It's like your body is not your own. It responds perfectly fine. You're able to move around. You can feel the cold of the dwarven rune and everything. It seems wrong.
So this is what happens when you lose your soul.
I'm gonna go find Jay.
Okay. You get up in the morning, and everybody else is getting up too. What are you guys up to?
I'm gonna head to the forge.
Sweet.
Say, Rook, how you feeling this morning, my big man? Feeling better?
I was
Did y'all actually sleep in the same fucking room?
I
In
was
each other's
about
arms.
to say. I was about to say Brooke is taking a long think by himself, concentrating,
Right.
just thinking about over his emotions. But instead, I have a Braxton in front of me.
So you wake up in the morning, you turn around, and Braxton's just staring at you 2 inches from your base, with a little notepad and pen, just scrawling down every single breath you take while you sleep.
I think I understand now. Hey, Wooya, what's up?
Still not ready? Okay, well, enjoy your morning off then.
You move around a lot in your sleep. You kind of, you really like to grab things.
Oh my god.
That's not your
No.
sword, Rook.
I'll indulge Brax. What do you talk about?
Are you ready to talk about the whole orb thing?
I think I'm better than.
Oh, good.
But not to you.
Oh, that'd be such a good answer. Oh, I want to.
Rook, Braxton, good morning.
Morning, Jay.
Oh, hello, Jay.
Oh look,
Make
Jay's
my
also
way
in the room
down.
staring at you with notes.
I'm headed out into the main part of town, and I just want to it showed up after Rook. I'm thinking it's gonna show up somewhere, so I'm just gonna walk around, check in various rooms, look for this orb.
Ah. Okay, you're gonna search the dwarven ruins. How about you go ahead and make for me a investigation check?
Would you like some help, Jay? Rook doesn't want me in here. You don't need my help. You're great.
Investigation, that's a 17.
The orb seems nowhere to be found. You go through every room you possibly can through the course of the morning here and can't seem to find it.
Okay, cool. Once that is out of the way, I am going to set off looking for Ira.
Okay. And everybody else is getting up. You can find Ira. I imagine that she's in the room that she was in before, and you've just gone searching through the area, so you would eventually find the door that she's behind.
Morning, Ira.
Oh, Jay, hold on. I'm dressing myself here.
Okay.
I turn away.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see.
Good morning, Jay.
Morning, Ira. How's everything?
Not perfect.
This is where she tells you she's pregnant.
God Damn it, Jacob!
All right.
It's too good. I can't
Right clicking on Jacob. Click mute. All right, there we go. Well, that woman did something to me. I don't know what it is yet. I had a dream last night. I was in a field, a windy, almost spring day, and looked down, and my hands are just covered in blood. And then I woke up. And now that I have everything, it just doesn't feel right. Like,
Yeah, no, the joke still applies.
I kind of like open my hand and then like close it into a fist, like looking at it. I'm still me, but it doesn't seem like it. I don't know.
I understand.
Kind of look up at Jay. I don't know. There's something wrong though.
I'm not sure if there's anything that I can do for you per se, but Lucian, is there anything that I can investigate about this? Like, it doesn't sound like a medicine or an insight or a religion check, but is there any check that I could make that, as a player, I'm just not seeing?
You could make a medicine check to see if she is indeed ill. You could try to, I don't know, cast some sort of detection or whatever. It's up to you. She seems like just regular Earsfield, though she's clearly shaken about the events from yesterday.
Okay, well, I guess, yeah, I'll make a medicine check just to make sure that there's nothing, like, physically
Sure.
off, even
See
though
what
it
we can get
seems
here.
like it's... I don't know if I'm proficient in medicine, though. Does that matter? I have a +4, but I'm not proficient.
No, that's fine. You're just checking.
Okay, it's a 22, then.
Yeah. You can see no sign of physical harm, or that she might be odd as far as that goes, but there's clearly something wrong with her mental state.
Mm-hmm. I think this one might be above my pay grade, so to speak. The head priest might know something of similar cases like this, but I wouldn't bring it up with him unless that's the course that you wish to take.
Well, I'm a little bit worried about this. I'm afraid it'll only get worse.
Yeah, I can understand. If we were, in a normal town, I would try and do research on it or look at writings to see if there's any similar cases like this, but I don't know how much of that was brought with the town, how much got left. I won't bring this up with anyone, though. If you wish to keep it to yourself, I'll respect that.
For now, please.
If it gets worse, you'll let me know, right?
Of course. No.
I won't
Oh,
let that be true, Ira, unless it's the blood of those that would hurt our family, of course.
I'm well off-putting. It's not the dream that worries me.
I feel you.
The sensation. I don't. Illusion, how did my experiments with the mushrooms the previous night go, by the way?
Well, you're a pretty good cook, but there's only really so much that you can do with limited ingredients. The mushrooms are fine base for when you're using your spices that you have, and you're able to make a decent meal with that.
Okay.
But they're bland, and there's really little that you can do with them. And if you were forced to make something with just that and nothing else, you would be hard pressed to create anything fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. Then, I'll go ahead and do what I can.
Man, sauteed mushrooms are so good, though.
Let's go have some breakfast.
Not in the Underdark, they aren't.
Yeah. I went and gathered a couple mushrooms. They're not great, but they're not good berries either. I know how the rest of you don't like them. So,
Good berries can't get a bit dry sometimes.
speaking of, here, I'll hand you
Exactly
two
like
good berries.
Thank you.
Used most of my magical powers yesterday, so I don't have the full complement today. I'm gonna go make breakfast.
I nod. Once she leaves, I'm just gonna, while she's preparing breakfast and everyone's kind of seeing to their own stuff, just gonna settle in somewhere and reach out for Bella and ask for not necessarily her help, but just for her to keep an eye over us with all of this stuff going on the past day. It's left me weary.
Okay.
Ask her to watch over us. And
You make your prayers in the morning, and Earsfield goes off to make breakfast. What are you guys doing in the morning? It seems people are doing stuff around the Dwarven area here, and you're not exactly setting out for an adventure just yet.
I mean, I went to the forge.
The forge? Okay. You are in the forge.
Alright, I want to see if I can find things to, like, start the forge, see if there's, like, enough to get it going.
Ah. You can
Which I
see
started to do yesterday.
that in the forge there is indeed a large pile of coal that you could use to get the forge started, and a lot of supplies have been left around here.
Nice. Is there any, like, metal for working? To, like...
You can see that there are a few stray iron bars here over in the corner of the room. Otherwise, there are some weapons that look like they have been finished and held up on a rack. Mostly simple things like short swords and the like.
Is there... Could I potentially scrape up enough metal to make a greatsword?
I would say that there is enough metal here for a greatsword.
But only one if I were to fail?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Alright, I want to take care, like, I want to take a good amount of time making preparations and making sure, like, I know exactly what I want to make and, like, draw out some sketches and shit.
Okay.
And
So you
spend, like, the
spend
next
the
several hours
morning,
doing that.
like, planning out this sword. Excuse me, this sword that you're gonna make?
Yep. I have, like, I actually drew up a sketch I can get to you.
Is this smithing work audible throughout?
Not while he's sketching, but once he starts, it definitely will be.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Braxton and Rook, what are you two up to? Braxton, are you
Oh,
listening to
fuck
Rook's
off.
beautiful story about what happened in the orb?
Oh, is he going to tell me?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he?
he said he was ready to talk about it, and then Braxton walked away.
I thought he said, but not to you.
No, that was Jacob, I think.
I wish I did.
Oh, you didn't actually
It
go
was a
through.
perfect moment, man.
I'll
no
retell
pressure,
the
Rook.
story.
I'll live if it's too haunting for you.
I'll retell the story, but not be. I won't be too sad.
Okay.
I lost, and I'll say it humbly.
Your surroundings. Well, where were?
Like a big mirror.
Like a lake?
No, like a big mirror.
Big mirror. Nothing out in the distance, just as far as you could see.
Clouds above us.
Well, that's interesting. He seems kind of nice until the whole, fight deal.
Well, I mean, I think he was fair. I just straight lost. That's all there is to it.
Well, sometimes you learn the most from your losses.
Yeah, whatever.
Too deep for Rook.
Well, thanks for telling me.
There's no problem.
Okay, thanks, bye.
The whole yeah was kind of like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So, off in the main room here, Earsville is cooking and Jay is wandering about, and eventually, Yuri, you've managed to put together the plans for this sword that you're going to make. Do you want to start work on it? Attempt to light the forge of Eodbar again?
If I were to attempt to make it, like, out of stone first, would that improve my chances? Do I think that would help? Because I'm much more I'm proficient with fucking masonry tools. I'm not proficient with blacksmithing yet.
You can't make a stone sword? Question mark.
Well, like, if I were to carve it out.
This isn't Minecraft.
I mean,
It's
he
not
could.
not like a
It would
usable
take forever.
sword, just like the shape of it. Like, carve it out of stone, get an
You could
idea of
if
how
you
it's like
wanted.
the shape.
It would take quite a while, and you'd have like a 3D model to work off of, I suppose, but that's up to you.
Just wanting to know if I think it would help or not. Nah. I'm good. I'll cut straight to it. Fuck it. I want to attempt to light the forge. Before I do that, though, I want to take a kneel before it and thank my ancestors for this opportunity and be very, very respectful about using it.
Okay. When you go and light the forge here, what do you have for blacksmithing? You have proficiency, right?
I do not yet.
It's the one thing that you don't have.
Yep.
Okay. So go ahead and make for me, let's see here. I want you to make a wisdom roll for me, and I want you to do it with advantage.
Okay. Here's hoping. It's literally a 10. It is literally a 10.
Okay. You go over and start to place pieces of kindling into the forge and set to light it with your tinderbox. It only takes a moment, and soon the kindling is burning. And before long, the coals in the forge begin to stoke great heat and flame. And the whole room starts to become alight with the glow that comes from this mighty, like squarish forge at the back end of the room. You go ahead and set to fanning the flames, and as you do, this would be the point that people would hear there's the sound of some commotion that's coming from down the hall towards where Yuri was sleeping. Guys, do
Time to
anything
go
about it?
yell. Time to go yell at him.
I go visit.
Okay.
I'll continue cooking unless it seems like this is dangerous.
Okay. You guys go ahead and make your way over there, and as you peek your heads in, Braxton and Rook, you can see that Yuri is currently operating a winch of some kind, which is sending air into the large forge here, and the whole thing kind of glows every now and then when he pulls.
Hey, big guy, you need any help?
Didn't they tell us not to take anything from here?
I'm not taking anything. And otherwise, I'm going to kind of ignore them and maintain focus.
Okay.
Let's go see Ira or someone who, or smartest about that.
Yeah, Jay's probably making his way over there.
Okay, yeah, you guys see
Oh,
Jay
lovely.
steps into the doorway after you guys mentioned this bit.
Jay, is this considered taking things? I know you said not to do that. There's a little gray area here.
I'll look around. I don't see any spirits popping up.
Nope.
For now, I think we're fine. Just, if I yell
Spirits.
stop, please do so.
Well, I guess you didn't say that out loud.
Maintain focus.
Okay. Are you guys gonna let him be or hang around in the forge?
I'll watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably watch. Seems like a cool show.
Sure.
I've got an audience. I'm not even proficient in blacksmithing yet. Fuck.
Okay.
This is gonna be so flaccid if I fail.
It seems everybody's hanging out in the forge. You finished making breakfast, Irisville.
Seeing nobody around, I'll take my pan and a couple other things to use as plates and head over to where the loud clanging is.
Okay. So at this point, the forge is warm enough. Irisville steps into the doorway, and you're ready to start taking bars and try to transform them into something.
Mm-hmm. I do so.
Okay.
Complete focus. No stops. Don't pay anybody mind. Complete
Sure.
focus.
You mention anything, Irisville, or just kind of hand out food to everybody and settle in like
Yeah.
the rest?
Yeah. Does he look like he is super focused and everything?
Yes.
Okay. I'll leave him alone then.
Hey, look, this is pretty good, Era.
It's alright. It's the best I can do with these mushrooms.
Jay is like
Oh, never mind.
devouring it.
It's not good berries though. Oh, speaking of, and I'll hand 2 good berries to Rook and Braxton.
Okay.
Cheers.
Those are for later. Don't eat them now.
Would never want to if I didn't have to.
Still don't understand what's wrong with good berries.
I need you to make that blacksmith check we normally do for you.
If I rage, does it allow me to roll advantage?
Rage,
No, 'cause
blacksmith!
You can't rage through the whole thing.
Ah, you know. You never know. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Oh, reroll.
Don't give me a
13.
chink, man.
It's gonna
I'll
get.
take
You're
the fucking 12,
gonna roll a 20.
man.
Man. You're gonna roll real nice here.
Yeah, I really would have liked that 12. Fuck you, Jank. I would have
A
taken
lot-
the fucking 12.
The last jank we had went in our favor. This one was bound to not.
Yeah,
Jank
man.
giveth,
Well,
the
I
jank taketh away.
I think we should just kind of redo the session from the beginning, not on this board. 'Cause-
So you go ahead and
6.
take the iron bars and go to set about working them. And as you do, you find that your knowledge of smithing is almost inadequate. You have this idea in your mind of combining the bars, beating them into one another, and turning them into a sword. And so you go ahead and take these bars, you heat them up, and start to work on that. But as you do and you turn them, they don't seem to bind together properly. And there's another complication. There are devices in this forge that you don't actually understand. Like, there was nothing like this in the forge back in Everwatch that you had used. Even in the castle, some of the stuff in here is different.
Well, I get the impression that it's not going the way I want it to go. So shifting focus, I want to do my best, like my very best, to improve rather than succeed at making the fucking sword at this point.
Want to
Like-
improve your battle axe, or you mean just
No,
train?
no, like just train, like experiment, see what works, see what things do, work to improve myself since I clearly failed at this point.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make for me a intelligence check, please.
I'm the best at these. Oh, 17.
Good God. Okay. You spend your time working the metal and trying to get used to it. You even learn what one of the machines here does and how it basically flattens out and does a good deal of the lifting and like heavy power work for you once you know how to operate it. You feel like you're a little bit more knowledgeable when it comes to blacksmithing, but it's definitely going to take some more time to get it.
Oh. I will probably take a break at some point and eat the food, but otherwise we're not doing anything, resume and continue to work.
Okay. So you sit down to eat with everyone, and everybody here is finishing up a meal of mushrooms. What do you guys want to do? Are you guys chit-chatting about anything, or planning out the day, or maybe talking about the last 24 hours and how ridiculous they were?
Probably talking
Jay,
about the last 24 hours and planning out the day.
Jay is probably trying to direct the conversation away from yesterday and try and focus more on like, what are we gonna do today? We're down
Let's
here.
kill some orcs.
Are we gonna proceed further into the mines? Do we want to go back and look at that tunnel that didn't go anywhere?
Why don't you throw some bones, Jay?
When I went to gather these mushrooms last night, and it appears that there's a rather large creature in the tunnel next to us.
Large creature.
Let's kill it.
Yeah.
I need something to kill. I
Like-
really want to kill something.
That sounds fun.
Footsteps, like I'll kind of like hold my hands out to show how big the footprint was. Footprints like this.
That sounds fun.
I agree with Braxton. Let's go kill it.
We should also check that other passageway just to make sure nothing else is shown up. You know what happens when I do a lot of things and then sleep.
Jay, what do the bones say? Use the bones.
Going to check down the hallway with the big creature. Wait, are we planning on doing this soon?
Yep.
Immediately?
I would like a little bit more time with the forge, just a wee bit longer.
When he's
Tell us
done
when
with the
you're done.
forge,
If we do this, it's going to... Oh no, I can ritual this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll set the ritual up. Like, get all the stuff out for it. I know it's still going to take 10 minutes to do the ritual, but...
Okay. While you guys prep your question.
Yeah. And then I'll ask them, what should my
Course of action be?
course of action that I described be?
how far away is this
While
cave?
pursuing
Pursuing the Lubu.
the bones scream out, "Do not pursue."
Run.
I'm picturing a bunch of bones landing on the ground. It's just like, do not pursue.
The bones land. It's like send nudes, you know. There's all those things.
Do not pursue, dude.
Send nudes.
That meme where
Bones.
things like
Do we
Oh my
pursue
God.
Lubu? The bones shatter.
Well,
While they start this conversation, I'm gonna go back and get the forge. And this time I want to try and fix my axe.
Before you leave, do you want any help? Do you think I could help you with anything?
Do I think he could help with anything?
Who knows? You've never seen him in a smith before, but he is beefy.
Is there any simple task that's impossible to fuck up? I mean, I already fucked up, but like, you know...
There's no
don't need
simple
two
task
people
that
fucking
cannot
up.
be fucked up.
Alright.
I'll
I
just
think I'm not a professional myself yet, so I think I'll handle this on my own.
Want me to keep
as
pressing
he
that wing?
as he kind of stands up, I'll reach over and like put a hand on his like lower leg or something, cast guidance.
Thank
That's all
God.
the help I can give.
It helps a lot.
Rook, you could help me set up this ritual.
Okay.
Disappointment.
I give Rook the most boring tasks. Imagine. Light this candle. No, not that one. This one right here. There you go.
Place it in
Great.
this exact spot. Draw a circle around it. Erase the circle. Move the
I have to go
candle
use the
over 3
bathroom. Be right
inches.
back.
Alright,
There you
take
go.
a brief 5-10 minute break here. I too could use a piss. We'll return in a minute.
Alright. Indubitably.
I'm actually gonna go try to get more water. I'm dying. Be right back.
He's dead.
Goodbye, Uchi. It was good
So
knowing you.
sad. I was like, I really would have taken that fucking 12, man.
What does that turn
Not the
into? Like a 15?
60.
Turns into a 16.
Oh damn. Oh,
Yeah, he's
Ooh,
a,
that
he's a pretty
proficiency.
beefy barbarian right now.
Did you take a strength mod?
Yeah, strength and con. They're both up to 18.
Oh shit. That's
Yep.
pretty sick.
This is why I was like, I could take Great Weapon Master, or I could put 1 in strength and 1 in con and get the mod in both,
Yep.
which in turn gives me like 4 more health, gives me 1 more AC, gives me 1 to attack rolls, 1 to damage, and 1 to pretty much everything I do crafting wise.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
8 health too for you.
Yeah. Very value.
Until creatures start learning to use necrotic damage on you, am I right, Will?
Shut the fuck up.
I swear, we went a year, and I think after the first, 2 weeks, I couldn't kill Will's Barbarian. And in the past 2 sessions, I've brought him unconscious, 6 times.
Wow.
6? Really? 6?
Well, the last session, I brought you down 4 times in a row.
Well, trying to 1v1.
They kept
level
healing him.
16 on a vampire.
They kept healing him while a druid had sunbeam focused on him.
right.
He would sit up at 9
Yeah.
HP, and she'd just turn and point it at him.
Oh
It
my
didn't matter
god.
if he made the save
Yeah.
or not, because he was
that
going
counted for 3 of them. Yeah. That was a really fun fight, by the way.
Sunbeams are
unconscious.
crazy, man.
Dude, their party has some way beefed up characters.
Really?
They're, what are you guys, level 8? And I threw 2 Treants, 2 Ettins, 2 Fomorians, a level 9 Druid, 3 Vine Blights, and 3 Needle Blights at them. And nobody died. They had a couple
One of our
unconscious.
characters is so useless.
Just have to kill that druid first.
We killed her last.
Oh my
I
gosh.
almost made a huge fuck up. I had her turn into a bird and start flying away because she was low,
Uh-huh.
and she was 100 feet up in the air, and they blasted her.
Yep. And then she fell.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that you should fall 500 feet and around.
Yep.
So, for the sake of having a fun fight, I let her make a check to turn into another bird before she hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And she rolled a 19 or a 20 on it, so I let her turn into a bird.
Did they just hit her again?
Well, she landed at that point, and at that point, I had all of the big scary dudes were on the archer.
Uh-huh.
And, because Ettins have a speed of 40, which is nice.
Oh, interesting.
Because our archer was, shooting and moving.
Yep.
And moving.
Yep. That's how it's done.
Using disengage bonus action.
Oh, yeah.
So finally the Ettins got to him and took him down, and then it was oh fuck, Connor's down? What? That doesn't happen. Connor finished a dragon fight at full health because he was so far away from the dragon that breath attack couldn't hit it.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
I ended that one with
Sharpshooter?
2 health. That was
Sit at
crazy.
the back of the fight, and you just hit people with arrows until they die.
Yep. And if anything thinks about moving close to you, you run 60 feet the other way
Yep.
and then you fire.
Yep.
Oh, you moved 5 feet towards me. I'll go in 60 back.
I mean, as a ranger, fighter, rogue, with sharpshooter, yeah, I mean, you have basically unlimited range on any sort of in-map combat session. There is nothing you can't hit. And you ignore cover. Except total cover.
Sharpshooter is so broken.
It's so good. I mean, it's the same thing with Great Weapon Master with anybody who has a really high attack modifier.
Great weapon
Well.
master. Yes.
It's just sharpshooter. You have the fighter talent. This is archery +2 to hit.
Will hit something the other day with Great Weapon Master and Rage, and he did 40 damage to it.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck?
Just one swing.
Yep. Sounds about
And
right.
He has a +1 axe, so it's magical, so I can't even... Unless
Mhm.
there are creatures that have resistance to magical slashing, I
Yep.
can't even, like, have...
+1
his
axe.
damage.
That's old news now. You just gave me something else.
Well, yeah, now you have your artifact. Your artifact.
Oh, what?
sword. Yeah. It's our 1-year anniversary, so I'm giving everybody artifact weapons.
Oh.
Like cool magic items that will like be able to grow and get stronger as they level up as a party.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
I'll pass my axe down to my son.
Yeah, they're
It's
pretty
time
cool.
It's time for Hilda and I to have a baby.
Like gain experience and like, level
No,
up.
no, no. They don't gain experience. Well, I can't say this while Will's. Will, do you want to hop to another room so I
Get
can
the
explain
fuck
how
out
they
of
work?
here, Will. Jesus.
I'll go to the bathroom.
Actually,
Okay.
You know- wait,
Oh, go for it.
because you know what he's gonna do is he's gonna come back and he's gonna go double click on YouTube, and then he's gonna know exactly what you just said, right?
Yeah, but that's fine. If he goes through all that, then
All right.
one of the people already
Go ahead.
knows. Basically, I've drawn up a list of things unknown to them but known to me, basically,
Mhm.
of like milestones or like achievements that their character does based on like who they are, and
Mhm.
when they do them in character, their weapon will get like a small enhancement to it.
Got it.
So like Casey, for instance, has a hand cone, which I should never have given him, that raises DC of spells.
Oh
But, I mean,
no, why?
he still sucks. To be fair, Casey forgets to use it half the time,
Oh.
and
Okay.
when he does use it, you know, things roll really high on his saves. But his thing was he needed to roll, I think it was above a 23 on a performance check or something
Mhm.
like that, because he's a bard, and he
Yep.
like the first thing after getting the weapon that they did, like when they were resting, is he's like, I go sit in a corner and I'm just gonna sit and play my lute. And I'm like, okay, roll a performance check for me. And he rolls a 25 or something like that. I'm like, all right, you get a gem in your socket. And he's like, what? And then I told him what it did. But yeah, there's just like a laundry list of things that they can do without knowing what they are. And
That's
they get
pretty
like
cool.
little buffs based on what things they do. They have to be like attuned to the item when they do the
Activity, which I
challenge.
don't think
Yeah.
they'll ever not.
Yeah, if they unattune to these weapons, it's because like all hell is broken loose and I'm giving fucking Vorpal swords out and shit.
Got it.
Which I hope. I mean, I run pretty high magic games, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I've only played 2 sessions, but it's pretty magical.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to that tomorrow.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Be interesting.
Isaac's not going to be there, but I mean, he's like the paladin. I'll just
The
I'll
guy
just-
who just charges.
yeah, he literally just rides around on his horse and stabs stuff for
Alright.
vengeance.
That's pretty easy to throw in there though. So
You guys have an interesting session next time, anyway.
yes. I'm hoping we don't get murdered in the middle of the night by a green dragon. That would be unfortunate,
Yeah, that would suck.
especially since they have 120-foot dark vision.
They could see you guys from twice the distance that you can see them. Well, for you, I think you have 90 feet.
I have
don't you?
90. Yeah.
Still, they can still see you.
I'm definitely making Kit an illusion character on the second thing.
What?
The character that I'm playing in Jimmy's campaign tomorrow. I'll be making her in your second second thing deal.
Oh, I see. What? You said you were playing a guy.
Not the first one. Words. The first one I'm gonna make is either a wizard or a paladin, depending.
I'm
I
gonna
have
go to the
both of those
bathroom while
already made
everybody's
up.
away.
But then after that, that's the next characters.
Ah, I see.
Probably.
I also really like my character in Jay's campaign. Jimmy's fuck.
Welcome back.
Whatever you were saying, I hope it didn't go over stream because I think Casey and Connor are watching.
See you, Jimmy.
Let's leave Will out of knowing everything. I'll tell Casey and Connor though.
Well,
You
I mean,
can't
I
just
even
rewatch
warned
it.
him. I'm like, yo, like he's literally as soon as he comes back, he just once the video is posted, you just go to YouTube and find it exactly what you're about to say.
I hate spoilers though, so
He's like, yeah, you know, if he goes through that much trouble, I mean, I don't care.
I went through all the trouble of watching the stream. Now I know all of your secrets.
Wow.
Now that would have been funny if Will had the stream open and was listening to you in the other room.
I just left. I don't like spoilers.
Kills the mystery.
I avoid them.
I don't know, spoilers don't bother me. Like, I hear a spoiler and then, you know, instead of being like disappointed that, oh, I know how this is gonna happen, I like speculate on all the different ways it's gonna fucking play out instead. Different experience. Doesn't really disappoint me or bother me.
Have these guys been here the whole time?
What?
Which
Oh,
guys?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Orcs that escaped.
Oh, yeah.
Orcs.
The orcs that escapes.
Has no idea where they are.
Pretty sure everybody's here now, by the
Seriously.
way.
Jay came back?
Did he just leave? Never mind.
I think went to go to the bathroom fast.
I think a bunch of people are partying on my floor.
That's
Probably.
not
It's
surprising.
college.
College, man. You're not gonna sleep in the next like 2 days.
Uchi, you need to make a bold statement and wear like the same thing outside every day, like to every class. Wear like a suit, like a nice suit, like even like a bad suit if you don't have one that fits very well. Wear like a suit with like proper slacks and everything, and then like couple it with something that makes no sense, like a native headdress or something, and just wear it every day.
Sandals, native headdress, full suit.
I'm pretty sure I'll get shot if I wear a native headdress anywhere on the camp.
Where are
Why?
you going?
Loyola
I don't-
University. It's super like proactive in that department. If you catch my drift.
Liberal.
Jesus.
Yay?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, do you want
Dude,
to live
I
in a
was-
gay world, Uchi?
Look,
Dude,
look.
when
We're
I was
already
at
living in a
Orient-
gay world. We're trying to make the transition to a trans world. Very different.
When I was at orientation, one of the clubs they introduced me was Raw Ramblers Against Whiteness.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I remember you looking at his class list, like the potential classes he could take, and you were like, "Why is there no like white history or whatever the fuck?" Something along those lines.
Oh yeah, we're busy tearing
'Cause that
all
would
that
be-
down right now.
European history. Something, probably.
What did the blacks do in European history? That's what this class is about. We're going to explain it to you. European history. Censor all the white people. Simple. Easy.
There's like a quiz on the first day, and it's like, are Italians white?
Oh no.
Speculate. Oh no.
Oh no.
no.
What was that thing again? The fact or fiction? It's like, she is a girl. Oh no. Oh no.
no.
Oh no.
Oh, I heard Jim.
I think
I'm here.
so. Hey!
At least we're gonna
We all
go
here?
through all the effort. Have loads of movements to remove statues of our forefathers who owned slaves.
Here we go.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, are you done
Calm
making
down,
your weapon
Pat.
yet, Yuri?
He's definitely not.
What?
Shame.
What am I doing?
Making a weapon.
There we go.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm working on my axe this time. Failed miserably making a great sword for a certain person.
So, what are you guys doing? If I remember correctly, you were about to cast an augury spell, which has been completely prepared, ready to go. It simply waits to hear what should be put in it.
I think we're waiting till Yuri's done with his
Oh.
thing
Yep.
first, and then we're gonna cast the spell.
Yuri, you know you're gonna be here for hours.
Oh
To
god.
fix my axe?
Yes. You have a
Oh.
proper forge in front of you, and you're gonna be working metal, hot metal. It's gonna take time.
How long are you willing to wait? I really have been meaning to do this, but it takes
Like-
a while.
30 minutes.
It's gonna be longer than that.
Why don't you finish up tonight when we get back?
I suppose that's an option.
When we're resting up tonight?
Alright, I'll take the time to go make sure the forge is properly, shut down.
Okay, so you start to deactivate the forge, and Jay, you're ready to cast augury. What are you gonna ask it?
I looked at everybody else.
Yuri, how far away is the cave?
A short walk?
Is
10 minutes?
pursuing the big creature in the cave to the right of us a good adventure? Will
Good
it?
adventure.
I don't think it's a
Will we-
question. I just describe a series of events that we're gonna do.
Is pursuing the big monster in the cave next over good?
No, not is. You just
Question,
stay
how long
there.
does it take to actually get to the cave?
Yuri said 10 minutes.
Just about.
Alright, Jay,
doesn't
here it
take
is. Walking to the cave with the big monster. There you go.
Well, no, what's that gonna? Nothing's going to fucking happen walking there. We want to know what happens if we go into the cave.
Walk into the cave with the big monster.
I cast the spell and describe heading out of the city over to the cave and following the footsteps inside.
Let me see here.
Will it actually be real?
The bones land on the ground, and it says both wheel and woe.
Let's go.
That means
It
we're
sounds
good
like
to
a
go.
fight.
All right,
All
let's
right.
do it. Everybody ready?
Ready?
Mhm.
Ready checks?
Let me cast mage armor. Ready.
Let me hit yes. I'll just click yes.
Slash-
Ready to go. Let's go fight the
slash
boss.
ready.
fight.
/R.
Okay.
/R when you're ready.
G
Everybody
question mark?
begins to leave
slash
the
G
large
quit.
dwarven area here and start to travel along the chasm. As you make your way over there, you all note something. There's a rumble in the ground and the walls. It's like an
That's-
earthquake is traveling through here.
Okay, stopping for a second. Does it
Do I
seem
get-
like there's a focal point or a location where this is coming from?
Perception check.
Alright.
Do I get
All of us?
flashback to the dragon?
Can we all roll that?
It's
perception
not
or-
nearly as strong.
Oh,
You don't know
that's that's a nat 20.
It sounds
not
like
an
it's coming
earthquake.
from the cave up ahead.
That's not an earthquake, mates.
Something's coming. It's really large. I'll cast a
Sure,
long
we can take
stare
it
on
now.
myself here.
Alright, well now that I'm not tired, this might be a decent fight.
Take out my bow.
It's the Balrog.
God help us.
Do you want to
Beholder
sneak it
comes
forward,
out
or
of
do we
cave.
just want to rush in?
Does it seem like this creature is coming out of the cave towards us?
It just
Or-
seems like the rumble is mainly coming from within the cave.
Let's go.
It's a
Right
giant
behind
round
you.
monster.
20 feet, Era?
I can scout ahead if you'd like.
That didn't work too well last time. Be more careful.
Sure.
Do it better.
I'll cast guidance on myself and head into the cave.
So the rest are just kind of hanging out at the entrance.
No, we're gonna follow like 20 feet behind.
If you can lure it to the door, it might give us an advantage. Just think about that.
Once you're inside, just stepping a couple of feet into the cave, the rumbling becomes more intense. Not necessarily because the creature is just around or whatever, but because the vibration like reverberates now that you're in an enclosed space. And then you hear something. Everybody hears what sounds like stone cracking from the ceiling above, and an explosion happens as a massive creature made of some sort of insect beast-like shape bursts out of the roof, and we're gonna end the session there.
Oh, Lucian! Come on.
We can do a fight.
Yeah.
I have to go and do some documents, actually, is what we're gonna do. It's super fun. And I'm gonna sign a bunch of dotted lines and do a whole shitload of math, and it's gonna be a real great time.
Do we get to know if we
What are you
know
doing?
what this thing is? Would any of us have any idea what this thing is?
Does it look like a rust monster?
You guys can do your checks next week.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z.
Alright.
It's the last frame of Dragon Ball Z is literally an explosion from the ceiling as something bursts out.
Oh, this is the scene where fucking Namek blows up and you have Goku in the fucking ship trying to make it work.
Sure,
Alright.
yeah, that one.
Big question. Is this right above me? Or between us? Or ahead of us? Because that's pretty important.
Mostly the group.
Okay.
Everyone.
Alright, there we go. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Well, I had fun. I thought that was an interesting session.
Indeed.
Goddamn,
Hey,
the rolls
Lucian.
are
I'm so
awful.
sorry, Rook.
How many hit points did the angel have?
Oh, like 100.
Yeah.
What was the AC?
Hi.
18 at least. Plate armor.
You didn't necessarily have to beat it, but
Yeah.
you did have to roll better than the fight that
Had
you
to
put
at least
up.
hit it once.
Yeah. You
The
did
bare
not
minimum
impress
roll.
that guy.
One.
It was
Meh.
like 10 out of 10. Would scalp that guy. Get out of here. Anyway, despite some horrible rolls, and wow, I mean, this week was just all over the map. More than one group had some pretty bad times. But other than that, I still think you guys played it pretty well. There was some dank role play interspersed with Jacob reading everything, which is tradition. Beyond that, thanks to the audience for stopping by. Always great to have you guys, and to all the patrons. You guys are the reason that I get to eat. So I will say thank you to you guys, and if you want to hang around, we're gonna talk some random stuff. Otherwise, adios. Till next week.
Oh man.
Janked roll.
That was really
Question,
brutal,
Lucian.
dude.
If I had taken that fucking 12, if that 12 had actually happened, would a 16 have been enough?
Well, you could. What are you talking about? The roll for the smithing?
Fourth roll.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it was janked. It was a 12-13. You don't get to